Good afternoon from Art Keller Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It's Carthage Redmond football this afternoon, the home opener for 2017, as the Redmen get set to face the Bethel University Royals. John Weiser with you up at the Art Keller Field press box. Glad you could be along tonight for this one. An earlier start. We got a noon kickoff scheduled today as the Redmen look to make it 2 wins in a row. If you were with us last week on the road down at Aurora, Illinois at Aurora University, the Redmen posted a 24-0 victory. That is their first opening day shutout since going back to the time in 1998. That was a 23-0 win over St. Olaf to open up that season. And for the Redmen, that was their first road shutout since 2005 when they shut out Benedictine. So it should be an exciting ball game here today for the Redmen. Coming off that 24-0 whitewash, they posted 416 total yards while holding Aurora to just 116 yards. And again, getting almost 207 yards of offense through the air last week. If you were with us, Kyle Freiberg, 14 of 22 for 198 yards, a touchdown. He had a nice 71-yard touchdown strike to James Cobbs, one of 4 catches on the day for Cobbs. He finished the day with 90 yards in receiving. Lafayette McGarry with 19 carries, 110 yards, and a touchdown last week. McGarry did a nice job running the football. Great to see him healthy once again. And on defense for the Redmen last week, it was Emmett Trost, 6 tackles, 3 of them solo. Also had an interception as the Redmen defense forced 3 turnovers and cashed those turnovers to the tune of 17 points. So a very good win last week for the Redmen, holding Aurora to just 3 first downs in that contest. Only 1 first down in the first half of that one. Meanwhile, their opponent this afternoon, the Royals from Bethel University out of Arden Hills, Minnesota. That's a suburb of Minneapolis, and they enter this game today, falling to University of Dubuque last week in double overtime by a final of 32-26. In that game, the Spartans were able to send the game into overtime with a touchdown and 2-point conversion with just over 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Bethel kicker Blake Huddle delivered a clutch 37-yard field goal on 4th and 14 in the first overtime, but Dubuque responded with their own 28-yard kick, sending it into double overtime. And it was there. The Royals weren't able to score. The Spartans got the ball first in the second overtime frame with a touchdown. Their point after failed, but the Royals were not able to get into the end zone and fall to Dubuque for the second consecutive year. Sophomore quarterback Jake Marsh, a fine ball game, 17 of 39 for 298 yards and 2 touchdowns in that loss, but he also threw 3 interceptions and was sacked once. Bryce Marcourt, the all-time leader in scoring touchdowns from a receiver position for the Royals, he caught 6 passes for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. 8 other players caught at least 1 pass in that ball game. And defensively for the Royals, it was Cale Farron with 19 tackles in that ball game, 7 of them solo. And this Bethel team coming in a little bit challenged on the offensive side. You look on, normally our running game has been very, very effective for Bethel through the years. They were expecting a deep backfield this year, but Gunnar Bloom, who led the team in rushing last season as a sophomore, elected not to come out for football this year, though he remains at the school. And Bridgeport Tussler, who ranked 2nd in rushing last year, elected to focus solely on basketball this season. So Brady Bumsta is expected to get the bulk of the carries today. Bumsta is their fine running back. Also Riley McCann, who emerged last week. McCann with 23 carries and 94 yards a week ago for the Royals. And so also a little bit of change on defense. This is now a 4-3 defensive alignment for the Royals coming into the season this year. Longtime defensive coordinator Jimmy Miller left in the offseason. He is now the defensive coordinator at Northwestern of Minnesota. And in his place, the Royals have gone younger. Mike McElroy, who is their new D coordinator, he actually played Division I football at Northern Illinois under former Minnesota coach Jerry Kill when he was at Northern Illinois, and served on Kill's coaching staff with the Gophers. He spent last season as the defensive coordinator over at Concordia St. Paul on the Division II level. So this will be a new look defense here, but same MO on this team. A very, very fine defensive front, and that is led by Godfrey Empedi. Empedi, an all-conference selection a year ago at 6'1", 251 pounds as a senior. He will be in that defensive tackle at that starting position. And a pretty young secondary as well for this team, although Dawson Brown coming back as the leading tackler from a year ago at 85 tackles. He had 4.5 sacks a season ago, 3 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, and he blocked 3 different kicks. So he will be a force on defense to keep an eye on. Health-wise for the Redmen, some changes in their lineup. Chris Goldschmidt, their left guard, not in the lineup today, out with an injury. So Joe Godlewski moves over from right guard to left guard. And also tight end Sean Wells, who suffered a knee injury in the game against Aurora last week, being held out of the game today. We'll get our first look at freshman Azu Wiggum out of Rosemont, Illinois. And what's special about Wiggum, they went to the same high school as Javier Rhodes, the all-conference tight end from a year ago who graduated out of the Carthage program. East Leiden High School is where Wiggum prepped as a high school star. So we'll see him at tight end today. Also see a little bit of Cam Carter at that tight end position as well coming into play here today. So we'll see that as the game rolls on here. Excuse me, Zach Grabner will be a backup tight end today. Grabner out of Omro, Wisconsin. He will be wearing number 83 this afternoon. So that gets you set up with the ball game. It's a great afternoon. We got temperatures expected to climb into the mid-60s today. A little bit of a southeast breeze, but right now a partly cloudy sky as the teams conclude their warm-ups on the field. We'll visit with head coach Mike Yeager in the tunnel. We'll get his thoughts on today's game as our pregame continues from Keller Field in Kenosha. We'll have that for you next after the 60 break on AM 1050 WLIP.
Welcome back to our pregame, everyone, as we get set for Carthage and Bethel this afternoon. The home opener for the Carthage Redmen this afternoon here at Art Keller Field, and joined now by head football coach Mike Yeager. And like a good win on Saturday, always a good when you can win, but especially on the road, a very good effort by both your defense and a couple of players offensively.
Yeah, no, I thought the defense obviously played really well. Really, when we had our ones in there, we gave about 60 yards through about 3.5 quarters. So that was great to see. We also produced 3 takeaways, which is always nice. And, offensively, we got the yardage when we needed to. We got the points on the board when we needed to. Some big plays by Lafayette McGarry, James Cobbs, Dom Lucido, and, it was a good day.
I thought it was interesting. Dominic Lucido, here's a guy that got hurt right before the start of the regular season last year and steps in and, hasn't missed a beat.
No, he's been unfortunately injured the last couple of years, and he's finally healthy and did a great job. Made some huge plays, and including a huge reception right before halftime to get 3 more points on the board. So it's great to finally see him healthy.
With the defense getting the 3 takeaways, cash those into 17 points. You got a field goal out of that, so special teams contributed. So really a 3-way contribution there from all 3 phases.
Yeah, I think the special teams and offense were a little bit behind the defense, but the defense played well enough for them to catch up throughout the course of the day, and were able to get the victory.
Was a costly win, so to speak. We lose an offensive lineman, and Sean Wells, the starting tight end, goes down as well.
Yeah, no, it's it's a tough part of football. You're going to have injuries, and we've talked to the guys about that. If you're going to have a great season, you need guys to step up. But losing Goldschmidt at left guard is a tough one. He's a great football player, and Sean Wells at tight end. But hopefully we'll have some guys step up and overcome it today.
So you rearrange the offensive line just a little bit. Godlewski moves over to left guard. You bring up Jacob Kessler, comes up to right guard, and a new starter at tight end.
Yeah, no, we'll have Azu Wiggum in there. We'll have Zach Grabner in there at tight end, and rearranged a little bit with the O-line. And like I said, hopefully the guys will step up and produce today.
That's somewhat important because if I remember last year, the tight end position, really a big difference in that victory over Bethel up there, getting 6 receptions out of the tight end position, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, no, last year Javi Rhodes played really well. They have a brand new defense this year. They've changed their defense this year, so I think they're doing a little bit better against the tight end this year.
We'll talk about that, focusing on Game 2 here and a chance to take Bethel for the second consecutive year. This is a team picked for the middle part of that Minnesota conference, but that's a tough conference. I equate that right up there with the CCIW.
It's a really good conference when you have St. Thomas, St. John's. They've got some great football teams in that league. It's going to be a huge challenge today. They lost last week to Dubuque, but they had 5 turnovers and gave up a safety and still lost in overtime. So when you're staying tight with 5 turnovers, you're pretty good.
Sophomore quarterback Jake Marsh, a couple of touchdown passes. He did throw the 3 picks, but as you said, the defense came up with a couple of picks of their own. So opportunistic, I would say.
Yeah, no, he's got some ability. He's got a live arm, and hopefully we can get him to make some poor decisions and take advantage of that.
Bryce Marquardt was his favorite receiver last week, a senior. He got some leadership there. He had, 144 yards and 2 touchdowns in that game.
He is a great player. He's one of the best receivers we'll see all year. He's a difference maker. We've got to do some things to slow him down.
Secondary has been good. I've been impressed with the development back there of the young guys, particularly on the corners. It's an island out there, and those guys know it, and I think maybe they relish that opportunity.
Yeah, no, they've been growing. They're all juniors now finally. They've been playing for a while. They've got a lot of experience under their belt. They're starting to improve in their technique and respond the right way. You're not going to be perfect at defensive back, but they're doing a really nice job so far.
Let's talk about Bethel's defense. You talk about change in defense, defensive philosophy, defensive front. What are you looking for there as far as trying to counteract that change?
Well, they went from a 3-4 to a 4-3. We'll see both throughout the whole year, so it's not a huge difference for us. It's just a matter of how you attack it in the run game and protections, and we'll tweak some things, obviously, to go against them.
You mentioned something at the end of the game last week about your team, and that is it's not a team that's going to get style points for running up 50 points a game, but efficient enough because what you needed last week was a team to take opportunities such as the interceptions, cash them into points, but be able to run the football, particularly in the second half, to run down the game.
Yeah, no, we're a pro-style team. We're going to try to grind you down. It takes time. It's not always going to be perfect at the start of the game, but hopefully over the course of 60 minutes, that offense will take control of the situation and get us the points that we need.
We saw Kyle Freiberg get the start last week, and I thought maybe a little adrenaline pump in there, making a first start, your first game of the season, even though he started the back half of the schedule last year. But I thought maybe just a little too amped up maybe early on, but gradually settled in through that nice pass to Cobbs for the 70-yard touchdown score.
Yeah, no, he did a nice job. And I give Aurora a lot of credit. They did a nice job, tweaked some things coverage-wise we hadn't seen, weren't prepared for, and did a nice job at adjusting. And like you said, as the game progressed, played better.
I know we saw the sophomore quarterback. We saw Suchecki in there as well. Is that the game plan? You try and rotate those guys in a little bit? Do they have a fixed time when they're supposed to be in?
There's not a fixed time. Kyle's our starter, but if we feel like we can get an advantage through a different personnel, we'll do that at any position.
It is the second game. You believe in that coaching adage that you make your biggest difference between first and second game? Are you a believer in that?
Well, you hopefully make your biggest difference every single day, but hopefully we see a nice jump and improvement in all facets of our game, and we've had a good week of practice, so we'll see.
Boil it down. What are the keys for today?
Turnovers are going to be huge. We saw that last week. We were +3. If we can be +2, +3 in the turnover margin, that's going to help us. Eliminate the big plays through the air. They've got a huge vertical passing game. They're going to throw it deep. They average about 16 deep throws a game, which is a lot. And then for us, just to establish the run. If we can do a good job in that area, I think if we can do those 3 things, we'll have a nice day.
New turf, kind of a new look out there, a chance to test it all out here today.
Yeah, it's a beautiful new facility. We're excited to play at home. It should be a fun day.
Go get them.
Thank you.
Head football coach Mike Yeager joining us on our pregame this afternoon from Art Keller Field in Kenosha, where the Redmen get set to take on the Bethel Royals. We'll have the starting lineup and the kickoff of today's game coming your way next on AM 1050 WLIP.
Philosophy of the football program is win the day, which is excelling to be your best in all areas every single day. We're dream makers here. We fulfill dreams academically, athletically, and as a whole person. We have some of the best athletes. We have some of the best teams and probably have some of the best Division III athletic facilities in the country. All of this is trying to help students overcome challenges to help them prepare for those challenges that are going to face them the rest of their lives.
First and foremost, that they take their academics really serious. They're competitive people, and that they love football. If they are about those three things, they'll have a great experience at Carthage.
It's really intense, all the workouts that we do, and it's all for a reason, preparing you for your life ahead after school.
My goals are that they become the best football player that they can become on the field, off the field academically. I want them to graduate in 4 years and go on to be successful in whatever endeavor they try to go into.
Come in ready, mentally and physically. You show up ready and prepared, then you know that you're ready to play. They know you're ready to play, and then you'll eventually get the chance you deserve.
So if you're looking to play at the top level of Division III athletics, you won't find a better college.
S.J. Crystal's Menswear, the corner of 57th Street and 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha. Mason's Eatery and Pub. Dave's American Discount Muffler. Something Different, a sports fan's fantasy land. Wingstop of Kenosha, Coliseum Games, and Ruffalo's 2 Pizzeria and Family Restaurant on 45th Street, just west of 39th Avenue. Great afternoon for football here in Kenosha. Temperatures in the 60s, plenty of sunshine. Let's get you the starting lineups this afternoon. First for the Bethel Royals under head coach Steve Johnson, now in his 29th season, amassed 202 career wins, ranks 4th among active NCAA Division III coaches in career wins. We'll set the offense for you. Up front at left tackle will be Christian Getz, a 6'1", 270-pound senior. Alex Edwards will play left guard, 6'2", 270, a senior. Nolan Richardson, a returning starter from a year ago. Richardson, 6 foot, 290, and a junior. Jack Fiedler, a freshman at the right guard spot, 6'3", 280. And at right tackle, Mason Diedrich, 6'7", 291, also a returning starter on that front line. The tight end will be Peter Knutson. Drew Newville has graduated and moved on. They're a fine all-conference tight end. It'll be Knutson this afternoon, 6'3", 230, and a senior. The fullback will be Levi Dunick at 5'10", 230, a sophomore. Brady Bumsta will be the running back today, 5'7", 185, a junior. And the quarterback, who took over that spot a year ago as a freshman, now in a sophomore year, Jake Marsh, 6'1", 208-pound sophomore. And 7 games last year, threw for over 1,500 yards, 53% completion, 9 touchdowns, 7 picks a year ago. Defensively for the Royals, a new alignment, a 4-3 alignment this year. At the defensive end, it'll be Cam Munson, a 6'4", 235-pound junior. The nose guard will be Trevor Hess, 5'6", 255, and a junior. At defensive tackle, all-conference selection a year ago, Godfrey Impedi. Impedi, 6'1", 251, and a senior. Kyle Kilgore at defensive end, 6'3", 251, and a sophomore. The 3 linebackers on the inside, it'll be Josh Dalkey, 6 foot, 226, and a senior. The other inside linebacker will be Zach Enos. Enos at 6 foot, 220, and a junior. And the weak side backer will be Brendan Whalen. Whalen, 6'1", 198, and a junior. Very good secondary, led by Brett Norling. Norling, a corner, 6'1", 191, a junior. The strong safety, Dawson Brown, their leading tackler returning from a year ago. Brown, a 6'2", 215 junior. At the free safety will be Cale Farron, coming off a 19-tackle game last week. Farron at 6'3", 205 pounds, and a sophomore. And at the other corner, a converted quarterback, Trey Anderson. He was the quarterback last year, and they converted him to the secondary this year, 6'2", 197, and a junior. That is the Royal starting lineup out of Bethel University in Arden Hills, Minnesota. For the Carthage Redmen, under head coach Mike Yeager, now 17-26 overall. Offensively for the Redmen up front, it'll be Isaiah Trussell at left tackle, 6'3", 320, a senior out of Case High School in Racine. Joe Godlewski moves from right guard to left guard due to the injury to Chris Goldschmidt. Godlewski, the senior, 6 foot 255, out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Nick Barker will center the ball today, 6'3", 320, a junior out of Tinley Park. The right guard will be Jacob Kassler today, 6'2", 280, a junior out of Bolingbrook. And the right tackle will be Cam Cotter, 6'3", 285, a senior out of South Elgin, Illinois. Receiving core and backs, it'll be tight end making his first collegiate start today, Azu Wiggum. Wiggum at 6'1", 220, a freshman out of Rosemont, Illinois, replacing Sean Wells out with an injury today. Garrett Pinkel at 5'10", 235, a sophomore out of Fort Myers, Florida. Lafayette McGarry will start at the tailback spot, 5'8", 195, a junior out of the Chicago Hope Academy. And the starting receivers today will be James Cobbs, the all-conference selection a year ago, 6 foot, 200-pound senior out of Urbana, Illinois, and Evan French, who caught his first touchdown pass as Redmond last week, 6'1", 190, a junior out of Joliet, Illinois. And our quarterback today for the Redmen, it'll be the junior, Kyle Freiberg, 6'1", 190, out of Caledonia, Michigan. Defensively for the Redmen, under Dustin Haas, defensive coordinator, a 4-3 front. It'll be defensive end Jeremy Benke. Benke, 6'1", 250, a junior from Lake in the Hills, Illinois. Defensive tackle Jacob Seimar, his second straight year as a starter on that defensive line, a 6'3", 295-pound sophomore out of Pleasant Prairie through Indian Trail High School. Cedric Fry, a defensive tackle, 6'1", 305-pound junior out of Urbana, Illinois. And Pete Laughlin, all-conference a year ago. Laughlin, 6'2", 230, a senior, 18 tackle for losses last season. That ranked 18th in all of Division III. Linebacking core, the nickelback, it'll be Chantrell Garner, 5'11", 200-pound senior out of Wisconsin Lutheran High School in Milwaukee. Emmett Trost, who had a fine ball game last week for the Redmen at middle linebacker. Trost, 5'11", 210, a junior from Elwood, Illinois. Nick Gansky will start at the outside linebacker, 5'11", 220, a Lion out of New Berlin, Eisenhower. In the secondary, it'll be Virgil Young, 5'9", 170, a junior at one corner. The strong safety will be Jogi Bumba, 5'9", 180, a junior out of Urbana, Illinois. Amani Dennis will start at free safety, and Connor Calvert, a junior out of Caledonia, Michigan, rounding out the secondary at the other corner. Other games in the CCIW this afternoon. Number 5, Wheaton, will be at Kalamazoo to take on the Hornets. Olivet will battle Elmhurst this afternoon. Augustana is at Central of Iowa. Illinois Wesleyan, who jumps into the top 25 this week with that home victory over UW Whitewater last week, entertain the Prairie Wolves from Nebraska Wesleyan. North Park on the road at NAIA Midland today. And this evening in Terre Haute, Indiana, it'll be Milliken taking on the Engineers from Rose-Hulman. Redmen have taken the field. The Bethel Royals taking the field on the west side of Keller Field. We're just about set for the coin toss and our national anthem this afternoon from Keller Field in Kenosha. Game 2 of the 10-game schedule. Redmen will be on the road the next 2 weeks. A couple of night games over the next 2 weeks. They'll be down in Wheaton next Saturday evening. And the following week, a Saturday night in Rock Island to take on Augustana. Captains gathering at the middle of the field for our coin flip this afternoon. Bethel University wearing the white jerseys, white pants, navy blue numerals, and gold helmets today. Redmen dressed in their home red jerseys with the white numerals and gray pants.
Football. Bethel, you're going to be calling the toss. What's your call going to be? He said tails. Helmet is a head, city is a tail. Good luck, gentlemen. Tails is the call. It is a tail you want to toss? Bethel won to toss. They'll defer to the second half. You want to kick this one? Carthage will receive.
So Bethel winning the toss, deferred to the second half. Redmond will start the ball game with the football, working it right to left here at Keller Field. Again, a beautiful afternoon here in Kenosha. Temperature in the mid-60s. .64 degrees here in Kenosha. Got a wind out of the southeast at 14 miles per hour. It'll gust up around 20. It'll be blowing left to right as we view it here from Keller Field. Right now we're going to enjoy our national anthem.
And singing of our national anthem. Anthem is being performed this afternoon by Carthage senior Austin Merchdorf from Waukesha, Wisconsin. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We're ready for football this afternoon from Art Keller Field in Kenosha. John Weiser with you. Glad you're along on the audio here this afternoon on WLIP AM 1050 and WLIP.com. Wherever you may be, and again, my thoughts and prayers out to the families and friends of our players down in the Florida area as Hurricane Irma lurking off the coast of Florida. We really have you in our prayers and thoughts today. I know several of the players on the Carthage roster from the Fort Myers and Naples, Florida area, and very concerned for her family and friends, and we share that concern and send you our best and hunker down and hope for the best. And of course, all those who underwent the destruction of Hurricane Harvey in the Texas Gulf Coast area, Houston area, still have you in our thoughts and prayers as well. Back deep for the Redmen to receive the kick will be James Cobbs and Lafayette McGarry. He'll be working right to left from south to north as we look at it here at Keller Field. Blake Hoddle, the special teams player of the week in the Minnesota Conference last week with his pair of field goals, including the one in overtime last week. He has it teed up to my left at the 35-yard line. Again, a noon kickoff today. One of those rare early starts. Glad you're along today. So Redmond open up the home portion of the 2017 schedule. Hoddle with the run up and the kick. It's a low line drive kick that skips out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So a break for the Redmen. They'll get the ball 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Offensively for the Redmen, Kyle Freiberg at quarterback, 6'1", 190-pound junior. Last week, 14 of 22, 198 yards and a touchdown. Up front, it'll be Trussell, Godlewski, Barker, Kassler, and Cotter.
Ball will be placed at the 35, first down.
Receivers will be Cobbs and French. They'll run McGarry as the tailback here. As Redmond wanted on the near hash mark at the 35-yard line, which would be the left hash mark, working right to left. Freiburg will start this drive in under center. And now
the ball will be placed at the inbound spot.
Yeah, they move it back to the right hash mark. Everybody's got to have their preference here, because the kick went out of bounds on the far sideline. They'll mark it at the right hash mark to start this drive. Bazrick lined up in a slot near side with French. Cobbs the single receiver in a wing to the right. Single back, deep back is Lafayette McGarry. Freiburg will work in under center, 1st and 10 from the 35. The give is to McGarry up the right side, out to the 37, make it the 38-yard line where he is stacked up there. Lafayette McGarry with his first carry of the afternoon. At the bottom of that pile, Trevor Hess, the nose guard, able to make the tackle. Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7 for the Redmen.
Along with Beal, 2nd down, 7 from the 38.
Pinkel in at fullback now. Offset look out of the pistol here with Freiburg 3 yards behind the center. McGarry lined up behind him. The give is to McGarry. Tries the right side again. Dives forward out to the 40-yard line. Was wrapped up almost immediately as he got to the line of scrimmage. Josh Dahlke in there on the stop.
Walt Winston on stop.
Along with Mpedi. Godfrey Mpedi in there.
From the 39.
Redmond go, hurry up. No gain. 3rd down, 7 upcoming here for the Redmen. Movement up front. Got a flag down. Free play for the Redmen as they dump it out far sideline looking for Bazarek. He was tripped up. And there's a flag on that play as well. So a flag at the line and a flag on the receiver. It's actually 84 Evan French back there, who got tripped up by the secondary. So 2 fouls here on the defense.
Freiburg's pass intended for French was incomplete. Penalty marker on the play.
Here comes the call.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Offside, defense number 9. Pass interference, defense number 21. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
So Brett Norling, the guilty party on the interference call, and from College that stepped off from the line of scrimmage, so 15 yards from the line, moves the football to the Bethel 46-yard line right hash mark. Just underway, opening drive for the Carthage Redmen. The drive extended via the penalty on Norling for interference on Evan French. Freiburg in under center. Roll the tight end. Zach Grabner over to the right side. The give is to McGarry again. Met in the backfield, tried to spin out of 1 tackle and is buried for a loss of 2 on the play. Dawson Brown there to finish him up. Dawson Brown getting in there. It was Cam Munson who got in there first. Had a first shot at McGarry off that right side. And McGarry losing 2 yards on the play, sets up a 2nd down, and we'll call it, well, 3-yard loss, 2nd and 13. This time Freiburg from the gun. As McGarry to his left, wants to throw again. Now under pressure, and down he goes. Hit off the right side as Cam Munson again beat the block over the right side. Kassler and Cotter having trouble containing Munson over that right side. So a loss of 7 all the way back to the Redmond 44-yard line. He got in cleanly that time. Kassler elected to take the inside man, and again they show blitz. Carthage will change the play with Cobbs, French, and Bazarek lined up here to the near side. They'll go trip formation here to the left. As Dominic Lucido in as the tailback on this play, and Freiburg wants to throw. 4-man rush, late blitz, now under pressure. Freiburg stumbling around, hit as he's thrown. Ball is dropped down short of the line of scrimmage, and will it be a grounding call here or not? No. It'll go as an incomplete pass, so pressure again up front by Bethel. Good job defensively for the Royals that time, getting pressure again coming over the right side of that Redmond offensive line. So 4th down and 20, Redmond are going to punt. Nick Candry, 6 punts a week ago, 33-yard average, scoops up that low snap, gets off a high floater. And dropping back is Trey Anderson, makes the fair catch at the 23-yard line of Bethel. So a 37-yard punt, no return. They'll mark it at the 23, 1st and 10 for the Bethel Royals. Their first look this afternoon offensively. Jake Marsh, fine year last year, threw for over 1,500 yards and 9 touchdowns as a freshman. Appeared in 7 ball games for the Royals last year. He is out there. Riley McCann is the tailback. Marquardt in motion. They'll give it to McCann. McCann going to be buried back at the 21-yard line. Be a loss of 2 on the play. They've been doing a good job up front.
Riley McCann on the carry, loss on the play.
Benke, Seimer, Fry, and Laughlin, your front 4 for the Redmond. Garner, Trost, and Gansky, the linebackers. Young, Bumba, Dennis, and Calvert in the secondary. Again, the give is to McCann, and again, McCann trying to bull his way up the middle, got to the 25-yard line. A penalty marker thrown into the pile. Jacob Seimer off the bottom of that pile.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 23. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Face mask call on Jogi Bumba, 180-pound junior. So 15 yards and an automatic 1st down here for the Royals. Will move the football out to the Bethel 41-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 41.
McCann the single back. 2 receivers lined up here to the near side. Single receiver to the left side. Let's throw it out quickly. Caught here on the near side. That's John Pitleck, the sophomore, making the catch out across the line of scrimmage to the 45-yard line where he is wrapped up there. Virgil Young there on the stop for the Redmond. Gain of about 3. Call it a gain of 4. 2nd and 6. 11:15 to go here in a scoreless first quarter. This time lining up under center is Marsh. Marsh handing it off. Big run up the middle. Out to the 40, down to the Redmond 35-yard line. Levi Dunnick there to make the play.
Levi Dunnick on the carry.
Nice carry to the Redmond 36-yard line.
34-yard line. 1st and 10 Bethel from the Redmond 34.
23-yard pickup to the Redmond 34-yard line. Dunnick his first carry today. Royals moving the football. McCann single back in the backfield. He'll get the call this time. Works the right side and is wrapped up immediately as he got to the line of scrimmage. Darkeese Holman, the senior, able to make the stop at linebacker for the Redmond with the shoelace tackle. Was Holman last year, if you recall, after Bethel scored that touchdown late in the 4th quarter, blocked that extra point attempt that forced the overtime in the game the Redmond eventually won at Arden Hills last year. Now under pressure is the quarterback, and Marsh goes down back at the 39-yard line. On the sack, Cameron Stubblefield, the sophomore out of Naples, Florida. Came right up the middle that time.
And 14 from the 38.
So it sets up a 3rd and 14 now for the Royals. Marsh. 4-man rush, steps up over the middle, pass thrown incomplete behind the intended receiver.
Marsh's pass intended for number 9, Bryce Marquardt.
Going for Marquardt that time, thrown behind him on a crossing route over the middle. The incomplete pass sets up 4th down, 4th and 14. Too far for a field goal, too close to punt, so they will go for it here on 4th down, at least appear to. Marsh will work out of the gun. He will quick kick it. This will be a low punt that will bounce inside the 10-yard line. Rolls toward the pylon. And it'll be touched at the 1-yard line. Nice job by Marsh. 37-yard punt down at the 1. So the Redmen backed up to their own 1-yard line for their second possession. 9:41 to go here in the first quarter in a scoreless first quarter. So the Redmen will take the field on offense. Lafayette McGarry will come in at the tailback spot for his second straight series. Cobb split here to the near side. They'll go double tights here from the goal line. And it's just Freiberg just going to load up behind Barker as center and move the ball out to about the 3-yard line. A little bit of room here for the Redmen. Javon Stryker checking in, along with Manny Jones, the transfer from Whitewater, at a wide receiver spot. Zach Grabner stays in. He'll be the tight end here. And Grabner in for Sean Wells, out with an injury this week. Pinkel, the fullback, will line up back in the backfield. They'll give it to McGarry. McGarry tripped up as he falls forward out to the 3-yard line. Logan Pantia, the freshman, 6'1", 287 at nose guard, clipped him down by the ankles just as he got that ball from Freiberg. Gain of 1 out to the 3-yard line sets up a 3rd and 7 here for the Redmen. Ball at the 3-yard line and via the punt that went out at the 1. Freiberg going to go deep down the sideline, far side, looking for Manny Jones, turns around, makes the catch at the 36, or make it the 26-yard line. Manny Jones, his first reception as a Redman. The junior from Indian Trail makes the catch at the 26-yard line, a gain of 23 and a first down for the Redmen. It's thrown on the far sideline, back shoulder throw that time by Freiberg. Jones turned around and ball was there. Good hook up there from the 26, 1st and 10 Redmen. Freiberg now on the scramble up the middle. Freiberg dodging his way across the 35 out to the 39-yard line. Pick up a 13 and another Redmen first down on the feet of Kyle Freiberg. Whalen able to come up and make the play from his weak side linebacker spot, but not before 13-yard pickup by Freiberg. So the Redmen move the ball out to the 39-yard line. 1st and 10. Carthage going right to left here in this first quarter. 7:45 to play in the quarter. Freiberg in under center. That's Suchecki on this particular handoff here. Snuck in. Suchecki in on this drive now. Freiberg being looked at here on the sideline by Jake Denauer, the head trainer for the Redmen. Hitting that left side, Subabi Suchecki, the 6'3" senior out of Rolling Meadows, in here now for his second straight snap. 2nd and 7 here for the Redmen, excuse me. Ball at the 42-yard line of the Redmen. Suchecki will work from the gun. Rolls right, throws right, completes to Manny Jones at the 49-yard line and goes out of bounds there. Jones working the far sideline. Gain of about 6 here. Just shy of the first down stick, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard for the Redmen. Bobby Suchecki came in last week. Threw 1 pass. That was to Evan French for a 9-yard touchdown. In here now in place of Freiberg, who got dinged up on that last run. Suchecki will hand it off. Big hole up the middle. Lafayette McGarry into Bethel territory down at the Royal 41-yard line. 11-yard burst that time by Lafayette McGarry. First down, Carthage. Clock continues to roll. 6:25 to go in a scoreless first quarter. Second possession here for the Redmen. Freiberg now back in there. So Suchecki able to come in relief here, get Freiberg tended to. He is back out there now. Freiberg fakes the handoff with time, looking left, throwing left, completes to Pinkel, the fullback, makes the catch at the 35-yard line and is brought down there. Getting to him first was Brendan Whalen, the weak side linebacker, along with Drew Ragsdale. Gain of about 5 on the play for Pinkel, down to the 35 of the Royals, 2nd down 5. 3 receiver look here for the Redmen on the right side. Freiberg now going to change up the play. There was movement up front, and the Redmen came out of their stance, so a false start.
Number 54, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Cam Cotter, the right tackle,
False start against the Redmen, 5-yard penalty.
came up out of his stance, pleading his case with the officials over there. Oh, wait a minute, they're going to change the call here, I believe.
Correction. Defense came in a neutral zone first. Offside, 9, defense, 5-yard penalty.
J.J. Walquist is the guilty party, saying he jumped the neutral zone, forcing Cotter.
For encroachment. 5-yard penalty, 1st and 10, Carthage.
So Carthage
At the 30.
gets a 1st down off the penalty. 2nd time this afternoon that they've got the 1st down by penalty. Freiberg wants to throw here on 1st down. Scrambles to his right, looking right, throwing right, completes to French, makes the catch inside the 25 and spins out of bounds there. Freiberg, with plenty of time to throw that time, elected to step around the right side, got to the right hash, waited long enough for French to clear on a crossing route, makes the catch and darts out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Again, 3 receiver look here to the near side. Bazaric, Cobbs, and French. Again, another marker down. The Royals do a lot of movement up front prior to the snap. A lot of shifting.
Offense, number 74.
Nick Barker, the center, double clutched the snap that time, forcing the penalty. Saw that earlier today in that Louisville, North Carolina game. Louisville center been called 3 times already this year for moving the football around prior to the snap. So 2nd down and 10 here for the Redmen. Showing blitz, here they come. Freiberg steps up, gets it away to Bazaric, through his hands, incomplete. Bazaric was open on the 30-yard line. They read the play well. He was the hot receiver. Redmond knew the blitz was coming. Freiberg got it away quickly, but Bazaric could not get the handle on it. Sets up a 3rd and 10. Bazaric and French lined up here on the near side. Cobbs lined up on the far side. Dominic Lucido is the tailback. As Freiberg will work from the gun. Here they come. They pick it up. Freiberg going back over the middle, completes the pass to Cobbs. Cobbs inside the 20, 15, 10, and out of bounds inside the 10-yard line at the 8. 22-yard pickup. Late penalty markers back inside the 30-yard line. Let's see what we have here. Busy afternoon for our officials. Paul Keating, the referee today.
Pass interference, offense, number 24, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Tommy Bazaric called for offensive pass interference. Negates the 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Becomes a 3rd and 25. So a 3rd and 20 actually here for the Redmen. Ball at the 40-yard line. They need to get it just inside the 20-yard line for the 1st down. Freiberg going to throw. Under pressure, dumps it out, tried to set up a screen, incomplete. Looking for Lucido on the screen pass, And it goes over his fingertips, incomplete. Redmond will punt. So the offensive interference penalty costly for the Redmen. Takes them out of a 1st and goal. They will have to punt. See if Nick Candry can line one up here inside the 20. Get this one away. It will bounce at the 5, angle to the pylon, and just sneak into the end zone in front of the pylon for a touchback. 40-yard punt, no return, and net at 20 as it will come out to the 20-yard line with 4:09 to play here in this scoreless first quarter. Other games this afternoon. Number 5, Wheaton is at Kalamazoo. (14-0) Thunder on top of the Hornets in Kalamazoo. Later on this afternoon, it'll be Olivet and Elmhurst, Augustana at Central of Iowa, Illinois Wesleyan hosting Nebraska Wesleyan, and North Park is at NAIA School Midland today. Later tonight, Milliken in Terre Haute, Indiana to take on Rose-Hulman. 1st and 10 Royals. They will hand it off on this first down and up the middle. Big hole across the 30 to the 31-yard line. McCann, Riley McCann, a sophomore, starting to establish himself now as their lead runner. Coming off a 94-yard game last week, starting to establish himself here today. McCann now 4 carries for 18 yards today. That one for 12. This time they try and work the far sideline. Can't get there. Gets it out to the... Looks like Pete Laughlin there to make the tackle on Marsh. Loss of 1 sets up a 2nd down and 11 from the 31-yard line. Marsh wants to throw, coming back right side, and it is broken up, incomplete, and a penalty marker flies. The side judge throwing a flag. It's going to be an interference call here on the Redmen, and it looked like a pretty good call. Virgil Young looked like he got there about a half beat early.
Defense, number 13.
We're looking at the replay here.
Automatic first down.
Joey Lee, the intended receiver, and looked as if Young got there just a beat too soon. 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage will move the ball out to the 38-yard line. Marsh again will work from the gun. Slot left here with 3 receivers going out. Now Marquardt in motion to the left. He'll get the jet sweep around. He's going to be wrapped up in the backfield by Chantrell Garner. Garner, the nickelback, came in almost immediately, read that play, saw it as a jet sweep to the far side, and got in the backfield for a loss back to the 32-yard line.
Garner on the stop for the Redmen. It's a loss of 6.
Be a loss of 6 on the play. 2nd and 16 for the Redmen. Nice open field tackle by Garner, the senior, out of Wisconsin Lutheran High School. Now Marsh wants to throw on 2nd down, and the ball is nearly picked off, looking for Marquardt, incomplete. Diving in front of that one was Jogi Bumba. Nearly came up with the pick. Nice job by Jogi that time, getting there in coverage. Read the quarterback's eyes, followed it all the way in, just didn't make the catch. 3rd and 16 from the 32-yard line. Send 2 receivers out here on the near side. Single receiver to the left. Single back in the backfield as Marsh rolls to his right. Now he's going to go down back at the 25-yard line. He saw the blitz coming by Garner off the edge, and as he tried to stop and avoid it, lost his footing, and Garner able to cover him up. Chantrell Garner with 2 huge plays on this drive, able to force the punt for the Royals. Just came in clean off the defensive left side. Marsh saw him, was going to stop, but went right down. This will be a short punt. It's going to bounce at the Redmond 40-yard line and will roll dead at the Carthage 35. 40-yard punt, no return to the Redmond 35-yard line with 2:07 to go here in the first quarter. And Bagels on the scoreboard. And our game today brought to you by Anastos Motors, home of the 3-day buyback guarantee. By Lou Perini's Gas and Groceries, now offering home delivery and special cash prices on gas. I think that's Nick that delivers those groceries. Sheridan Road, 1 block north of 52nd Street in Kenosha. 1st and 10, Redmond at the 35-yard line. They send a man in motion. Its ball is tipped. It's loose back inside the 30, and Freiberg's got a fall on it. Looked like they were trying to run some sort of a trick play with Kyle Kiesel coming in motion. Not sure if he was supposed to get the snap or not. He put his left hand up as he crossed in front of Freiberg, the quarterback. That deflected the ball back to the 26-yard line, and Freiberg had to cover it up. Don't think that's how that was drawn up. Trips to the right side here for the Redmen on 2nd down and 18 from their own 27-yard line. Freiberg wants to throw. Comes back near side, completes the pass near side. Making the catch is Jamel Davis. Davis out across the 35, out to the 36-yard line.
Davis to the 37-yard line.
Brett Norling, the corner here on the near side, able to make the tackle. Pass was thrown a little bit behind Davis, who had to stop and reach out with the left hand to make the grab, but then spun out of the first tackle and got it across the 35-yard line. 3rd down and 8 now. Ball at the 37-yard line. Under a minute to go here in our first quarter. Freiberg with a blitz on. Freiberg gets out of the traffic, now dumps it out. Incomplete, looking for Cobbs. Pressure again, this time coming from Dawson Brown on the safety blitz. Forcing Freiberg to throw that one early. Cobbs, the intended receiver on a cross route, unable to connect, and the Redmen forced to punt.
Trey Anderson deep for Bethel.
So Trey Anderson will stand inside his 25-yard line. Again, a low snap. Candry able to pick it up and gets off a short kick. Awful looking kick. Takes a backward bounce across midfield. It'll go out at the Bethel 49-yard line. A 14-yard punt. Candry has just struggled this year as a punter. Coming in just a 33-yard average from last week against Aurora, but got to do a better job. And watched him in practice today and in the warm-ups, and he was booming several 50-plus on the fly. But again, the low snap by Josh Wyand may have had something to do with that. McCann met in the backfield and dropped. McCann, Eric Freeman, the junior, bolted into the backfield just as he got that handoff from Marsh and took McCann down for a loss of a yard. Second down and 11 from their own 48 for the Royals. Marquardt in motion to the left. They'll try the jet sweep again to the left side. Marquardt trying to get to midfield, steps over the midfield stripe and goes down at the 47-yard line of the Redmen. And he is still down as time expires here in our first quarter. We'll check on the injury to Marquardt when we come back. A scoreless first quarter. Carthage nothing, Bethel nothing. On your home for Redmen football, 1050 WLIP. That's okay, Jimmy. 1 minute.
Start of the second quarter, Bethel, 3rd down 7 from the Carthage 48. Marsh's pass complete. There is a penalty marker on the play. Pass was complete to number 84, Peter Knutson. Penalty marker on the play.
Illegal formation, 5 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty against 3rd down.
So second quarter underway. The Bethel Royals
Ball
penalized.
47-yard line. 3rd down and 12.
So they'll bring up a 3rd and 12 now for Bethel. John Weiser with you at Art Keller Field in Kenosha. Marquardt still being tended to. As they start this drive. 3rd down and 12. Blitz coming from behind. They'll dump it out. It's nearly picked off. Incomplete. Chantrell Garner nearly got a pick that time as the quarterback Marsh was getting some pressure. Looking for McCann, the running back. Went over his head, and Chantrell Garner, who was just dropping back in zone coverage, couldn't quite get there. Looked like Pete Laughlin provided the pressure that time up front for the Redmen.
84 Knutson is in the kick. For the Redmen, 24, Tommy Bazarek is deep.
So Tommy Bazarek will stand deep to my left. Peter Knutson, the tight end, doubles up as the punter and gets that one away. Bazarek will make the catch at his own 15, and down he goes. Good special team play that time by the Royals to get downfield. There was Logan Saylor getting down there out of Lakeville, Minnesota on special team. And they got double numbers on the roster they provided, so I can only guess. So I apologize for those of you watching back in Arden Hills. It's one of those players. It was either Hayden Foote or Logan Saylor who got down there. Both wearing number 17 today for Bethel. Be Redmond ball at their own 15-yard line. Just underway second quarter, a scoreless ball game here in Kenosha. Bazarek in motion, and they'll hand it off. This is Davis. Davis out across the 20, out to the 21-yard line. Jamel Davis with a nice 6-yard run that time for the Redmen. Able to make the stop, Brendan Whalen. So 2nd down and 4 for the Redmen at their own 22-yard line. Zarek lined up in a slot here. They'll give it to Davis, and Davis going to go down right away. J.J. Walquist in on the stop. Only have a 1-yard pickup for Davis. It'll set up a 3rd and 3 for the Redmen at their own 23-yard line. Cobbs and Bazarek lined up here to the near side. Andy Jones lined up far side. There was movement up front. Penalty marker down. Free play looking for Manny Jones. Can't get there as it's incomplete. Redmond also looking for a flag on that play. Jones looked like he got held up momentarily across midfield. There's going to be an encroachment penalty here against the Royals.
Offside. Defense, number 97. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Yet another penalty here.
Penalty, Carthage 1st down. Redmond 1st and 10 at the 28.
That's 8 penalties now in this ball game. 5th one charged to, or 6th one I should say, charged to Bethel already. So 1st down for the Redmen because of the offside penalty. Third time they've got a first down as Davis stepping out of tackles, trying to get the edge here on the near side, can't get vertical as he is wrapped up near the 30-yard line. Cale Farron, the star of last week's game for the Royals, made the stop. Last week he had 19 tackles, 12 of them solo in the loss to Dubuque. Gain of 2 out to the 30-yard line, so second down 8 for the Redmen. Evan French and Cobb split here to the near side. They'll go with the tight end on the wing here, or excuse me, on the left side with Zach Grabner. Again, we're having trouble with the play clock. Now we get it set. McGeary will be the tailback here behind Freiberg, working from the gun. Cobbs goes in motion. They'll give it to McGeary. McGeary tries the left side. Going to be stacked up. Nothing doing. Fighting for a yard, maybe. Out to the 31-yard line. Again, good point of attack by the defense up front. Walquist again there.
No gain on the play. Third down and 8 from the 30.
Check that. Wallen on the stop. So sets up 3rd and 8 at the 30-yard line. Again, a lot of movement up front, a lot of shifting by the Royals. Freiberg going to change the play as Cobb split out with Bezeric on the left side. Going to go back over the middle looking for Bezeric, incomplete. Kind of stumbled out of his route that time and lost his footing as the ball was getting there and could not get to it, incomplete.
19, Candry is in the kick.
Once again, Candry into punt here for the Redmen.
Ray Anderson deep for the Royals.
Trey Anderson having to look up into that sun today. A high sky, not a cloud in the sky here in Kenosha. Got another low snap. Candry gets off a high short kick. Take a Redmond bounce inside the 30 and will roll dead at the Royal 26-yard line. 44-yard punt that time by Candry. Will set up the Royals 1st and 10 on their own 26-yard line. Scores in the CCIW, only one other game going on. Wheaton was ahead of Kalamazoo. That was 21-0 going into the second quarter in Kalamazoo, Michigan today. Everything else kicking off in less than a half hour. This time McCann. Check that, not McCann. This is new running back in there now. Sam Gibbous. Gibbous, a freshman running back out of Elk River, Minnesota. His first carry this afternoon. Had 3 carries for 6 yards last week in the loss to Dubuque. Gibbous now will step off the right hip of Marsh. Breaks a tackle out of the backfield, gets to the line of scrimmage, and then is swarmed under there. May have gotten a yard. We've got an injured Royal lineman down.
Officials timeout on the field.
Able to come in and make the stop for the Redmen was Nick Gansky, the senior linebacker out of New Berlin Eisenhower. So timeout for an injury here. Wanted to give a shout out this afternoon. Tyson Mengel, the coach out of Westosha Central, off to a 4-0 start as Westosha. The Falcons got a late touchdown last night in Union Grove to beat the Broncos. Their first 4-0 start since 2005. Tyson Mengel, former running back here at Carthage College. His first head coaching job out at Westosha and has got that program turned around. Congratulations, Tyson. Nice win last night in Union Grove. Going to be fun this week. Going to have a game on WLIP for you next Friday. Filling in for Tom and Nick and Pete next week. It'll be myself and Pat Hollywood Hegewald. Call the action for the Bradford Tremper game next Friday night down at Amici Field. Be fun working with Hegewald. We got our start together back in the early 90s. Just like old times. Boys are back in town. Hegewald and Weiser. Well, that'll be a real ratings winner, I'm sure. Injured lineman up, going to be helped off. It's Mason Diedrich, 2-year starter here for the Royals. Limping off to the far sideline under his own power. That's a good sign. They lost to Marquardt. Bryce Marquardt's been out. That last series got rolled up just as we ended the first quarter. He has not been back in there. As Marsh now looking to throw, and he's going to be sacked, ball out, recovered by the Royals. Who blew him up? And it was none other than Emmett Trost. And Marsh is down. It was Darkeese Holman who got in there, number 9. And boy, he brought the lumber. Another injury timeout here for the Royals as Marsh got belted. I don't think he saw him. As Darkeese Holman came off the left side, the right side of the offensive line, that's the spot vacated by Mason Diedrich, the right tackle. Pete Christensen couldn't hold him back, and Marsh took a hit by Darkeese Holman, credited with the sack and the fumble, but it was recovered by one of the linemen for the Royals back at the 23-yard line. So it'll be 4th down for Bethel. And Knutson will punt this one away. He'll have a wind at his face here as Berserk stands at the 40-yard line. It's a good snap. Delivers a spiraling line drive. Berserk, fair catch signaled for at the 29-yard line. 48-yard punt into the wind. Fair caught at the 30-yard line. Redmond will take over there. 10:41 to go here in the first half. A scoreless first half here in Kenosha. Freiberg, the quarterback, 4 of 9 today for 42 yards. McGarry, 6 carries for 18 yards. Davis, 4 for 9. So far on the ground for the Redmen. McGarry, the tailback. Off the right hip of Freiberg, working out of the pistol. Takes the snap. Little hitch and go, far sideline, has Cobbs out there, leaping grab at the 30, lost the ball, and they're going to rule it incomplete. Cobbs made the catch at the 30, and I think he was trying to transfer the ball around and dropped it. And they got a break there as it was ruled incomplete. A Royal player was right there to pick it up. The official immediately ruled an incomplete pass. We'll take one more look here on our replay. Freiberg delivered a nice ball, a little hitch and go that time down the left sideline to Cobbs. Made the outstretched grab at the 30, and then as he brought it down, looked like it bounced off his left knee. Incomplete the ruling, 2nd down and 10. Cobbs will line up in a slot this time to the left side along with French. They're showing blitz. Freiberg, they pick it up, dumps it off. Pinkel, the fullback, makes the catch out across the 35 and out of bounds to the 37-yard line. Gain of about 7 on the play for Garrett Pinkel. His first catch this afternoon. Sophomore out of Fort Myers, Florida. Sets up 3rd and about 4 here for the Redmen. Ball at the 38-yard line. You get it just across the 40-yard line here for the first down. Freiberg working from the gun. High snap, brought it down. He'll keep it himself and runs out to the 36-yard line, be a loss of 2 on the play. Bad snap that time by Nick Barker. Freiberg had trouble bringing it down. Looked like it was going to be a run play to McGarry. And so once again, the Redmen will be forced to punt here. Defensive battle here today at Art Keller Field. Candry will have the wind at his back. Gets off a good snap and a bad punt. Short punt won't even make it to midfield. Rolls dead at the 48-yard line of the Redmen. Just a 12-yard punt for Nick Candry. Oh. I think it was blocked. I think he just kicked underneath it. I think he got nose of the football. So excellent field position here for Bethel on the poor punt at the 48-yard line of the Redmen. 9:19 to go here in a scoreless first half. Marsh, who got dinged up on that last series, back in there at quarterback, just 1 for 4 today. That reception to John Pitlack. Work out of the eye, and McCann gets the call. Tries to go left side, nothing doing. Nick Gansky there to meet him immediately in the hole for no gain.
Nick Gansky on the stop.
Gansky, the linebacker.
Loss of a yard, second down 11. From the 49.
Actually lose a yard. They'll mark him down at the 49. Sets up a 2nd and 11. McCann just 7 carries today for 14 yards. Marsh wants to throw quickly. Comes back near side. Completes the pass here on the near side. Gets it to John Pitlack, who was wrapped up immediately by Connor Calvert here on the near side corner. Able to drag him down near the 46-yard line. Sets up a 3rd down and 8. Clock rolling, 8:20 to go here in the half. In motion to the near side is the receiver. They'll pitch it back to McCann. McCann going to be chased down by Chantrell Garner and Darkese Holman. Both getting there to wrap him up for a loss back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll bring up 4th down. Nice job once again by Chantrell Garner. Read that play perfectly. Didn't buy the fake, as he got over there and made the stop. So 4th down at midfield, and the Royals are going to go for it here unless they do another quick kick with Marsh, the quarterback. Let's see. Lined up in the gun. 2 receivers here to the near side. Again, Marquardt not in the game. Got dinged up late in the first quarter, has not returned. He's sitting on the bench. This will be a quick kick off the side of his foot, and it will angle out of bounds inside the 30 at the Redmen 28-yard line. Just a 20-yard punt by Marsh. So 7:23 to go here in the half. Redmen looking to go here in a scoreless ball game. Neither team able to generate much offense so far. Carthage with just 80 yards of offense today. Bethel, 22. Going to throw, and it's incomplete. Penalty marker at the line of scrimmage, going to the far sideline looking for Manny Jones. Was underthrown, broken up out there by Dawson Brown.
Shot block, offense, number 51 and 74. 15-yard correction, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
Costly penalty here. Godlewski and Barker called for the chop block between the two. That's when one of the linemen is engaged with the defensive player up high and the offensive lineman coming down low. In this case, it was Godlewski engaged low with the man that Barker was blocking. Half the distance will move the ball to the 14-yard line. Freiberg wants to throw, going to set up a screen to McGeary on the far sideline. McGeary steps out of a tackle across the 20, 25, still on his feet, out of bounds near the 30-yard line. They will mark him out at the 28, a gain of 14 for Lafayette McGeary on the screen pass.
McGeary out of bounds at the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 14, 2nd down and 10.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Redmen. Their own 28-yard line. McGeary, the tailback. From the pistol is Freiberg. He'll roll the tight end and fullback over to the right side. Goes to McGeary. McGeary trying to find some blockers out there. Spins across the 30 out to the 33, make it the 34-yard line.
McGarry for the Redmen. The 34-yard line.
Going to be short of the first down.
Third down, 4.
Third and about 4 here for the Redmen. So McGarry was trying to buy some time, looking to get a block or two. Ended up picking up 6 on that play, brought down by Drew Ragsdale. Freiberg shovel pass this time to Cobbs. Cobbs coming around the left side, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, down the far sideline, 30, and shoved out of bounds inside the Bethel 35-yard line. They'll mark him out there. Little shovel pass that time by Freiberg into Cobbs. They'll go for 42 yards. Brett Norling able to shove him out of bounds at the Carthage 24-yard line. So a pickup of 42 yards by Cobbs. Redmond cracking inside the red zone here. Freiberg wants to throw, goes outside, complete to Manny Jones inside the 10, wrestled down at the 6-yard line. Well, they're gonna call it incomplete. They rule it incomplete, never completed the catch. We're taking one more look.
Pass was ruled incomplete.
Brought it down, took a step, then wrestled out of bounds and lost it. Boy, that looked like a catch to me. Unless he was juggling it. Boy, that looked like a catch. Second down and 10. Clock stopped, 5:57 to play. No score in the ball game. Redmond, their deepest penetration offensively here. Davis coming around the left side on the carry. Inside the 20 and out of bounds near the 15-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play for Davis. Out of bounds at the Bethel 15-yard line. Will set up a 3rd and short. 3rd and about a yard here for the Redmen.
3rd down 1 at the Bethel 15.
Carthage 3 for 8 on 3rd downs here today. Lineup Cobbs, Stryker, and French. 3 receivers here to the near side on 3rd and 1. Suchecki in now at quarterback, sends Cobbs in motion. Suchecki will keep it, runs back the right side. 1st down and more. Suchecki inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Gain of 7 that time by Suchecki. Something we saw Nick Anselmo do extensively last year, coming in a sure running position. This time it's Suchecki able to pick up the 1st down on the quarterback draw. Sets up the Redmen 1st and goal just inside the 8-yard line. French spread out to the left, Cobbs here to the near side. Grabner, the tight end, lined up right. Pinkel now in motion to the left. Give us to Davis. Davis lowers his head up the middle inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line. Crowd oohing and eyeing. Pinkel able to finish off his block into the 2nd level. Took down the linebacker that time. Out ahead of the play. Gain of 3, 2nd and goal from the 5. The Redmen line up 3 receivers here to the near side. Cobbs, Stryker, and French. Suchecki back in there once again now at quarterback. Pinkel, got to hurry up here. Play clock down to 1, and they just got it away. Suchecki throwing near side, overshot Cobbs, incomplete. He was open inside the 5, just airmailed that one into the locker room here to the right side of the field. Time just, I think, got rattled there with the play clock going down. So wasted down there. 3rd and goal from the 5. Freiberg back in there. McGarry is the tailback. And now we got a stoppage of play, and we got a timeout. Bethel will take a timeout. Tell you what, Jimmy, let's take a 60 break. 4 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. No score. Carthage and Bethel on AM 1050 WLIP. Yes, sir.
Third and goal from the 5.
Third and goal from the 5, following the Redmond Bethel timeout. Freiberg on the scramble to the right side, penalty marker down. Freiberg going to let it go, and it goes incomplete, throwing through the corner of the end zone. And we're going to have a holding call here on the Redmond.
Holding, offense number 54, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, third down.
Boy, a rough afternoon for Cam Cotter. His second penalty this afternoon, this one for a hold.
That penalty is declined, brings up fourth down.
They're going to decline the penalty at the 5-yard line, not move the Redmond back. Bring up fourth down and goal from the 5-yard line. Interesting move there by head coach Steve Johnson. Going to force the field goal unit on for the Redmond. Lance Unland, who was 4 of 5 in that department last year, had a 26-yard field goal at the end of the first half down at Aurora last week. He's on to attempt a 21-yard field goal middle of the field. Wine with a good snap. Ball is down. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 21-yard field goal by Lance Unland, and the Redmen get on the board, and they lead it by a score of 3-0. So the Redmen finally get a scoring drive put together. 10 plays, 67 yards in just over 3.5 minutes. The penalty forcing them to take the call it officially a 22-yard field goal for the Redmen, and they're on the board leading by a score of 3-0. One other game going on right now, and that's Wheaton leading Kalamazoo 28-0. That game early in the second quarter in Kalamazoo. Games in the CCIW this afternoon. Augustana is at Central of Iowa. Olivet takes on Elmhurst. Illinois Wesleyan plays host to Nebraska Wesleyan. North Park on the road at Midland today, an NAIA school. And then tonight, 6 o'clock kick down in Terre Haute, Indiana. Milliken taking on Rose Holman. North Central and Carroll have the bye week this week. Unland's run up and kick. And this will be taken at the 5, out across the 10 by Sam Gibbous, and he is met at the 15-yard line and driven back there. Good coverage on special teams for the Redmen. Getting down there for Carthage on the stop, it was Cam Stubblefield. Stubblefield, the sophomore out of Naples, Florida. Officially mark it at the 16-yard line for the Royals. 3:45 to go here in the first half. Royals with 2 timeouts remaining. Marsh in under center. Again, if you're joining us, Marquardt got injured at the end of the first quarter, has not been back in there. Try a screen pass now to Levi Dunick, the fullback. He barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Brings up second down and 10. So they're without their leading pass receiver. Bryce Marquardt left with some sort of a leg injury. He's been sitting over on the far sideline as they'll hand it off. McCann trying to fight for yardage, gets out to the 20. Gain of about 4, wrapped up by Emmett Trost.
Third down and 6.
Brings up a 3rd and 6 here for Bethel at their own 20-yard line. Under 3 minutes to go here in our first half. Carthage leading 3-0. Marsh rolling left, throwing left, and completes the pass here to the near side and somehow hung on to it. Joel Konecki, a 6'1" wide receiver, out to the 26, and a gain of 6 and a first down. Boy, he took a belt from Chantrell Garner. Garner has been all over the field here defensively for the Redmen today. Now working out of the I formation, Marsh under center. They'll give it to the fullback coming around the left side, wrapped up by Gansky. Out across the 27, make it the 28-yard line for a gain of 2. Dunnick that time, met immediately by Nick Gansky. Small gain of 2, brings up 2nd down and 8. Clock rolling, 2:05 to go here in the first half. Marsh again working in under center, I formation behind him. Again, fullback getting belted right at the line of scrimmage. Boy, 5, 6 different red-shirted Carthage players there to make the stop. As Dunnick didn't quite make the 30-yard line by a host of Redmond defenders there. Led again by Gansky. Sets up 3rd and long now for the Royals. 3rd and 7 with less than a minute and a half to go here in the first half. Marsh from the gun. Under pressure, steps up, delivers. It's incomplete. Looking for the tight end, Matthias Dury. He was the intended target, just running a scrape route underneath across the 35-yard line and could not connect. The incomplete pass brings up 4th down. So Knutson in now to punt for the Royals. Good snap back to Knutson. High end over end kick. Wynn's going to knock it down. Bazaric running all the way up to the 46-yard line to take the fair catch. It's the 24-yard punt. That one got hung up by a good southeast breeze here at Keller Field. So the Redmen take over at their own 46-yard line. Leading 3-0, minute 13 to go. They have 3 timeouts remaining. Freiberg will lead them out. McGarry will be the tailback. Cobb's single receiver to the left. 2 receivers here to the right, and Redmond, some confusion, will have to take a timeout. Javon Stryker was not sure where he was going to line up, either in the slot or at a complete wideout here. So the Redmen, rather than run a play, decide to take their first timeout. Today's game brought to you in part by Triangle Flooring, Furniture and Appliance Center on Highway 50 and 39th Avenue in Kenosha. Dave's American Discount Muffler, honest and dependable service on Sheridan Road, Kenosha. And welcome in Ruffalo's 2 Pizzeria and Family Restaurant on 45th Street, just west of 39th Avenue. Great pizza there. Have that all the time. Ruffalo's Pizzeria. 22-yard field goal by Lance Unlund, the only score of the half here. Redmond lead by a score of 3-0. Minute 13 to go here in the second quarter. An early start this afternoon. A couple of night games coming your way in the next 2 games. At Wheaton and at Augustana. Play action fake by Freiberg. Steps up, now comes back down on the check down. Completes the pass here to the near side to the tight end. That is Azu Wiggum, his first catch as a Redmond player, and he'll pick up the first down out to the Bethel 41-yard line. Clock stopped while they reset the chains. So Azu Wiggum in the books with his first collegiate catch. The freshman out of Rosemont, Illinois. 14-yard pickup, 1st and 10 Redmond at the Royal 40-yard line. Freiberg comes back on a slant route, completes to French, leaping grab at the 31-yard line, brought down immediately on the play by Trey Anderson. At the 31, a gain of 9. Officials timeout. We've got an injured player down for Bethel. We've already lost Marcourt, their wide receiver. Looks like one of their linebackers down at midfield. So officials stopping play with 39 seconds to go. Bring up a 2nd and 1 for the Redmen when play resumes. Yeah, the Redmen will have a pair of night games coming up. At Wheaton on September 16th, and a 7 o'clock kick down at Augustana on September 23rd. Next home game will be homecoming on September 30th against Carroll. It'll be a 1 o'clock kick here at Keller Field. That is
Carthage declines the option to take the 10-second runoff. Clock will start at the snap.
So because of the injury, looked like it was J.J. Walquist, one of the reserve defensive ends, who was injured on that play. They don't take the 10-second runoff. Instead, they hand it off to Lucido, and he swarmed under back at the 37-yard line. Now the Redmen will take their second timeout, stops the clock with 35 seconds to play, facing a 3rd and long.
4th down and 4 from the 34.
Loss of 5 by Lucido. It's been tough going today. Freiburg 9 of 17 for 128 yards, a long of 42. Suchecki 1 for 2 for only 6 yards throwing the ball. Not much on the ground either. Lafayette McGarry 7 carries for 24. Davis 6 for 20. Suchecki 8 yards on the carry, and Freiburg 4 carries for 6 yards. Evenly matched game here this afternoon. Carthage facing a 3rd and 4 at the Royal 34-yard line. Send 4 receivers out, trips to the left side for Freiburg out of the gun. Comes back right side, completes to Cobbs inside the 20 and wrestled down at the 17-yard line. 17-yard pickup, 1st down Redmond, clock stopped while they move the chains. Be 1st and 10 Redmond at the Royal 17-yard line. Trips to the left side again. Freiburg gets the snap, swings it out to Lucido down the near sideline. Lucido into the end zone for the touchdown. Dominic Lucido. Little dump off pattern that time to the running back. And Lucido makes the catch and scoots it into the end zone for the touchdown. 9-0 Redmond. 17-yard touchdown pass from Freiburg to Lucido. Carthage able to add to their lead. Unland for the extra point. Good snap, ball down, kick on the way, and it is good. 10-0 Redmond. Dominic Lucido, 17-yard pass reception. 5-play, 54-yard drive in just under a minute. And it's 10-0 Carthage. A little bit of breathing room here for the Redmen late here in this second quarter. Again, the Redmen lined up in trips and then came back on the near side to Lucido, and he had a convoy downfield. Had Cam Cotter and Anthony Kudra out there as his lead blockers down the right side as the formation fooled Bethel that time. So Gibbous and Swanson awaiting the kick by Unland. Again, a 5-play, 54-yard drive in 52 seconds. The 17-yard completion to Lucido. As this one will be taken by Enos. Out across the 15. Enos trying to get the edge across the 20. Pulled down from behind near the 25-yard line. 19-yard return out to the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Bethel. 13 seconds to go in this first half. So let's see what the Royals try to accomplish here. They have 2 timeouts. They're just going to take a knee here. Go tight. Protect the quarterback Marsh. He'll just line up and take a knee to end our first half. Carthage getting 10 points here in the last 3.5 minutes of this first half. Go on a 10-play, 67-yard drive, ending in a field goal. And come right back on a 5-play, 54-yard drive, capped off by the Lucido touchdown reception. 10-0, Carthage over Bethel here at the half. We'll pause and take a 2-minute break. Back with our halftime programming after this on AM 1050 WLIP. 2 minutes. John Weiser back with you at Art Keller Field in Kenosha. A beautiful Saturday afternoon in southeast Wisconsin. The Redmen leading the Bethel Royals by a score of 10-0. A defensive battle here this afternoon. As we look at the scoring summary here in this first half, all coming in the final 4 minutes here of this first half. Teams combined for 11 punts in that first half, as the Redmen finally got on the board. A 10-play, 67-yard drive, capped off by the Lance Unland 22-yard field goal. That made it 3-0 Carthage with 3:50 to go in the first half. They were able to stop the Royals and take over at their own 46-yard line. And the Redmen got a nice 17-yard pickup on third down by James Cobbs on a pass from Freiberg. That set them up 1st and 10 at the 17. And one play later, it was Freiberg hooking up with Dominic Lucido. A little bit of a screen pass here to the right side. Lucido able to make the reception and scamper into the end zone from 17 yards out. The extra point by Unland made it a 10-0 ball game, and that's where we stand through one half of play. Redmen defense been strong here today, holding Bethel to just 34 yards of offense in that first half. 28 plays, 34 yards, 21 on the ground, and 13 in the air by Bethel in that first half. Bethel only 5 first downs, and they were just 1 for 7 on third down conversions. Meanwhile, for the Redmen, they tallied 215 yards of offense here in this first half. 47 on the ground to 168 in the air. Redmen also on third down, just 5 of 11 so far this afternoon. They have time of possession as well, 18.5 to 11.5 in favor of the Redmen. Looking at it individually here at the half, for the Carthage Redmen, Kyle Freiberg, 11 of 19, 162 yards and 1 touchdown. He was sacked once in that first half, had a long of 42. Receiving the ball, 4 different receivers with a pair of catches today. James Cobbs with 2 catches for 59, a long of 42. Manny Jones making a couple of catches, his firsts as a Redman. 2 receptions, 28 yards. Evan French, a pair of catches for 14. Garrett Pinkel, 2 catches for 12 yards. Running the football, not much there offensively for the Redmen on the ground. Lafayette McGarry, 7 carries for a net of 24. Jamel Davis, 6 carries for 20. Bobby Suchecki in a kind of a Nick Anselmo role from the last couple of years. Suchecki, the backup quarterback, 1 carry for 8 yards. Kyle Freiberg, 4 scrambles today for a net of 6. Defensively for the Redmen, Darkees Holman leading the team in tackles through the first half. Been on 4 stops, 1.5 tackle for losses. Chantrell Garner with 3.5 tackles, 3 of them tackle for losses so far in this first half. Punting the football for the Redmen, Nick Candry, 4 punts, a 32-yard average, a long of 44, and 1 touchback in that first half. For the Bethel Royals, individually offensively, Jake Marsh, their quarterback, just 4 of 8 for 13 yards. He was sacked twice. They lost their star receiver, Bryce Marcourt, got injured on the last play of the first quarter. Looked like some sort of a leg injury, and he did not return for the remainder of that first half. So that's something we'll keep an eye on as the Royals will get the ball to start the second half. Bryce Marcourt, 27 career touchdowns. That's a school record. The 5th-year senior for the Royals out with an injury throughout that second quarter. John Pitlack, their leading receiver, with 2 catches for 7 yards. Joel Konecki and Levi Dinnick, each with 1 apiece. Running the football, not much there either. Levi Dinnick, 3 carries for 25 yards, but he had a long of 21, so not much there. Riley McCann, 9 carries for 16. Sam Gibbous, 2 for 6, as Marsh was sacked twice in that first half by the Redmen. Again, 3rd down conversions, Bethel 1 of 7, Carthage 5 of 11. Neither team attempted a 4th down conversion in that first half. Time of possession in favor of the Redmen, 18:28 to 11:32. Penalties, teams combined for 9 flags in that first half, 5 of them against the Redmen, 4 against Bethel. Punting the ball, Bethel, Knutson, 4 punts, a 37.5-yard average, along of 47. Jake Marsh, a couple of quick kicks, 2 punts, 28-yard average, 1 inside the 20. Dawson Brown, their leading defender, with 4 tackles in that first half. Carthage getting a 22-yard field goal from Lance Unland and a 17-yard touchdown reception, Freiberg to Lucido, and lead it by a score of 10-0. We'll pause, take another 60 break. When we come back, we'll take a look at scores across college football as our halftime show continues from Keller Field. Carthage leading by a score of 10-0 on your home for Redmen Athletics, Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP.
I know sports is important, but having the academic part along with it is a big plus.
I've discovered in myself, a newfound ability to overcome adversity at all different angles.
At a Division III school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual. The end result in my mind is you just become a very well-rounded person.
Before I came into college, I didn't really think I'd be able to balance so much. It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
With a D3 school, there's a lot of time for other opportunities. The coaches expect a lot of you during soccer, but after soccer, that's your own personal time to really find out who you are and other opportunities that you can pursue.
By balancing all of my interests, basketball, my leadership skills, and academics, I'm able to better prioritize my life and to manage it.
(10-0) Carthage leading Bethel at the half here in Kenosha. John Weiser back with you. One game underway already, and that is over in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The Wheaton Thunder taking on the Kalamazoo Hornets. And that game is at the half, 35-6. Wheaton on top of Kalamazoo. Wheaton returned the opening kickoff, 88 yards for a touchdown to open up a 7-0 lead. And then their fine running back, Olatehu, with a 59-yard touchdown run that put them up 14-0. Wheaton went on to score 28 unanswered in the first half, opened up a 28-0 lead. Kalamazoo, their only score, a Seth Dexter 9-yard pass to Van Frausian, their wide receiver, and the attempt for the extra point failed. That made it 28-6, and Wheaton added a late score on a 6-play, 59-yard drive with 22 seconds left in the half. They are up 35-6 over Kalamazoo in Michigan this afternoon. Other games in the CCIW, Elmhurst is taking on Olivet. That game just underway. Also this afternoon, Illinois Wesleyan is hosting Nebraska Wesleyan down in Bloomington. The Titans getting into the top 25 this week, checking in at number 14. Augustana is at Central of Iowa to take on the Central Dutch today. Also this afternoon, North Park, a non-conference tilt with NAIA team Midland, the Warriors. And then later tonight in Terre Haute, Indiana, Milliken will take on Rose Hulman and the Engineers. That game's set to kick at 6 o'clock tonight. Bye weeks this week, North Central and Carroll both have the weekend off. So next week, Carthage will open up College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin play at Wheaton. That'll be a 6 o'clock kick from McCulley Field. We'll be with you at 5:30 next Saturday night under the lights at McCulley Field. 6 o'clock kick, Carthage at Wheaton next Saturday. The Redmen travel to Augustana to take on the Vikings down in Rock Island. That's a 7 o'clock kick. We'll be with you at 6:30 on September 23rd. And then the Redmen return home as they will take on Carroll University on September 30th. That will be homecoming here at Keller Field, a 1 o'clock kick. Olivet leading Elmhurst 3-0. That game early in the first quarter. A couple of other scores, Illinois Wesleyan and Nebraska Wesleyan. If they could flip the page, that would be helpful. There we go. Illinois Wesleyan leading Nebraska Wesleyan 7-0, and the Central Dutch on top of Augustana by a score of 7-0. Wheaton, as I said, at the half, leading Kalamazoo 35-6. Got soccer coming up here next. And 3 games coming up tonight here at Art Keller Field in soccer. Got women's soccer coming your way at 3:30. Then a couple of men's games going on. Kind of a tournament game. Women's soccer, Lady Reds will take on St. Norbert at 3:30. Then it will be Hope and St. Norbert at 5:30 tonight. And then the Redmen will take on the Maroons from the University of Chicago in a 7:30 match here at Art Keller Field. So busy, busy afternoon. A red out here. I see a lot of the students and fans wearing their red here today at Keller Field, and students were encouraged to take part in that. Again, our next Redmen home football game will be Saturday, September 30th. The Redmen and the Pioneers from Carroll University in homecoming. It'll get underway at 1 o'clock with our pregame at 12:30. Both on the video stream and here on 1050 WLIP and WLIP.com. Other scores this afternoon. Third quarter, Big Ten football. Wisconsin leading Florida Atlantic 24-14. About 4 minutes left in the third up in Madison. In the third quarter, Duke is leading Northwestern 24-10. Michigan and Cincinnati in quite a battle over in Ann Arbor, 17-14. The Wolverines on top of the Bearcats early third quarter in Ann Arbor. Iowa leading Iowa State 21-17. That game in the third. Also in the third quarter, how about Maryland? They're up 49-7 over Towson, looking for their second consecutive win to open up the season. Later on this afternoon, Eastern Michigan is at Rutgers. Indiana is at Virginia. Rivalry in Western Pennsylvania. Penn State will host Pittsburgh. It'll be Michigan State hosting the Broncos of Western Michigan. Nebraska is at Oregon later this afternoon. And of course, the marquee game tonight, everyone's going to have their eyes on. Number 5, Oklahoma at number 2, Ohio State. Western Kentucky will be at Illinois. Minnesota take on Gary Anderson and the Oregon State Beavers tonight. And Purdue earlier this week defeated Ohio 44-21. That's your Big Ten recap. Wanted to keep Tommy Roders in check because I know he's got this game on at home and he's watching the Badger game and going to settle in, watch the Badgers, watch a little football later this afternoon. Then I'm sure he's going to watch that Notre Dame game against Georgia tonight. That game scheduled to kick off at 6:30. Both teams making their way back out onto the field here as we get set to begin our second half. Redmond get a 22-yard field goal from Lance Unland and a 17-yard touchdown pass from Freiberg to Dominic Lucido. And it's a 10-0 Redmond advantage. Royals will get the ball to start our second half. We'll have the second half for you. We'll pause and take a 60 break. Second half football coming your way next on AM 1050 WLIP. Carthage Redmond football on AM 1050 WLIP and on the stream at WLIP.com. Brought to you in part by Anastos Motors. Get a 2-year maintenance program with any car you buy. By Lynch Chevrolet. By the finest in men's fashions, it's S.J. Crystal's Menswear, the corner of 57th Street and 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha. Mason's Eatery and Pub on Highway 50 just west of Green Bay Road. Don't be a chain eater, eat at Mason's. Something different, a sports fans Fantasyland on 6th Avenue, downtown Kenosha. And by Wingstop of Kenosha on Highway 50, they are the wing experts. Carthage leading Bethel 10-0 as we get set to begin our second half. John Weiser with you. Glad you're along today. And a reminder, we've got our thoughts and prayers on the fine folks in Florida as Hurricane Irma churning just off the coast of the Florida Peninsula. And again, our thoughts and prayers out to our family and friends. I know several of the football players want to make sure their family and friends are safe and sound and getting out of harm's way. We had several players from the Fort Myers and Naples, Florida area on the Redmond roster. They said everything's fine, family's all taken care of, and I want to focus on football here, but we know you're out there. You may be listening, and I'll let you know you're in our thoughts and prayers today. They're going to take a direct hit from what looks like to be either a Category 3 or Category 4 hurricane. Of course, you can make a contribution to the Red Cross, redcross.org. Help out the folks in Texas recovering from Harvey, and I'm sure the Red Cross is going to need some help as well, helping the folks in Florida as they'll take a direct hit from Irma. Looks like sometime early tomorrow morning.
Chamber, please report to the field.
Again, some injuries in that first half. Bryce Marcourt, the 5'11 senior wide receiver, sustained some sort of a leg injury late in the first quarter, right as we ended the first quarter into the second, got tackled on that far sideline. Looked like he might have rolled an ankle, has not returned.
We have the winning ticket this afternoon's 50-50
Freiberg took quite a shot early in the game. He has stayed in there, as did Jake Marsh, the quarterback for Bethel.
Start the second half. Carthage will kick off. Then south end. Bethel will receive on the north.
So the Redmen will kick off. Royals will won the toss and deferred to the second half. They'll go from right to left here to look into the sun here on this kick by Lance Unlin. 10-0 Redmen as we begin the third quarter here in Kenosha. Run up by Unlin. Driving end-over-end kick. It'll be taken by Gibbous at his own goal line. Across the 5, 10, 15. Far side to the 20, 25. Penalty marker down as he's hauled out of bounds across the 27-yard line. Penalty marker sitting at the 20-yard line. Might be a block in the back here against Bethel.
During return, holding number 45 on the return team, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
So the flag at the 20, so this will start this drive for Bethel at the 10-yard line on the holding call. So Marsh will lead his offense out, minus Marquardt. We'll have Joel Konecki in now as a slot receiver here to the near side. Marsh wants to throw, pressure off the edge. Hit as he's thrown, completes to McCann. He'll get it out to the 21-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11 and a first down. Chantrell Garner providing the pressure that time on Marsh as he just got that one away. McCann made a nice catch to keep his balance and pick up the first down across the 21-yard line. 1st and 10 Bethel. Marsh will work from the gun. Has McCann in the backfield. Will change the play. John Pitlack lined up in a slot here to the near side. We'll hand it off to McCann. McCann will be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Boy, the Redmen have done a nice job taking away the run here today. Jacob Simar out of Kenosha Indian Trail, able to make the tackle for the Redmen, the sophomore. Second consecutive year, started all 10 games last year as a freshman. And it's Benke, Simar, Fry, and Laughlin up front. 2nd down and 9. Again, Marsh able to step aside, avoid the rush, gets the pass off, completes to Konecki for the first down out to the 40-yard line. 20 or 17-yard pickup and a first down for the Royals. Mark him down at the 39, 1st and 10, Bethel. A little bit of a spark here by the Bethel offense going through the air. Sophomore quarterback Marsh. This time he'll hand it off to McCann. McCann for a yard. Out to the 40-yard line where he got sandwiched there.
Gain of a yard on the play. Stubblefield on the stop.
Cam Stubblefield there to make the tackle for the Redmen. He's one of those players out of Naples, Florida. Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. Only 35 yards on the ground today so far for Bethel. Play fake now. Marsh going to go back to the air, and it's going to go as a completed pass. Garner able to knock Knutson straight to the turf. He hung on to the ball. Knutson made a nice catch at the 45-yard line, short of the first down.
3rd down and 3.
Both Stephen Shipp and Garner there to make that tackle. So 3rd down and 3 from their own 46-yard line. Marsh wants to throw, looking right, comes back on a slant, completes the pass. Catch is made at the Redmen 45-yard line. Drew Larson with Chantrell Garner draped all over him, able to make the catch, and the Bethel Royals on the move here to start this 3rd quarter. picking up a couple of first downs here on the way. Bethel now 2 of 8 on third down conversions, 11-yard pickup. 1st and 10. Marsh again going to the air, stepping up, ball tipped up in the air, and it's incomplete. Cedric Fry, the junior out of Urbana, Illinois, got his hands on that one that time to deflect that pass down to the turf. Bring up a 2nd and 10 from just across the Redmond 44-yard line. Just underway third quarter. Redmond leading by a score of 10-0. Dunning will come in now, the fullback, bringing the play in from the sideline. Sam Gibbous in there now as the tailback gets the call. Gibbous going to be stopped for no gain. Swarm of Redmond there to make the play. Off the bottom of that pile for Carthage, Mike Kendry.
No gain on the play, third down.
No gain on the play. So 3rd and 10. Again, the Royals just 2 of 8 on third downs this afternoon. They'll take the fullback out, bring an extra receiver in. Drew Larson in as the receiver on that far side, along with Pitlack. John Carlson split here to the near side. Marsh stepping up, going to go over the middle, completes to Gibbs. And it's in short of the first down. They'll mark it down at the 39-yard line of the Redmond. Gibbous with a 4-yard reception. Nick Gansky on the stop. It'll bring up a 4th down here. Would appear the Royals are going to go for it. Just getting the play in now. Marsh, who's kicked a couple of times, little short pooch punts on 4th down. Play clock down to 5 here. And play clock at 0, and that'll go as a delay here against Bethel. They took it all the way down.
Number 2, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So now we'll see the punting unit on for sure here for Bethel. Tried to draw the Redmen off. Redmen held their composure. Bazrick standing deep at the 10-yard line. So Knutson on the punt. It's off a driving, spiraling kick. Fair caught at the 5-yard line by Bazrick. 39-yard punt by Knutson. And so the Redmen get their first possession here in the second half. 10:06 to go here in the third. 10-0 Redmond. Freiberg, 11 of 19 for 162 yards and a touchdown in that first half. You'll have McGeary as a tailback. French and Cobbs the wideouts. Zach Grabner lined up as a tight end. Again, Sean Wells out with an injury today. They'll give it to McGeary. Tries the left side. Gets to the 5. Out across the 10, 15. And out of bounds there. Just shy of the 15-yard line with a late penalty flag thrown. As McGeary got well out of bounds, this might be a late hit here against Bethel. Officials have been busy.
Play. Personal foul, late head, number 6, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
7-yard run by McGarry.
Zach Enos, the guilty party on the late hit.
Redmond will be 1st and 10.
So add 15 more at the end of the run. To Enos for the late hit. Moves the football out to the 28-yard line, 1st and 10 Redmond. Coming on the blitz, they hand it off McGeary. McGeary breaks off one tackle, spins around across the 30 and out to the 32-yard line. Lafayette McGeary able to spin his way around like a top, able to get it across the 32-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. Pinkel shaken up. He's going to come off to the near sideline. The fullback for the Redmen. Cobbs and Bazarek split here to the near side. Evan French to the far side. And the play signaled in from the sideline to Freiberg. He'll work from the gun, has McGeary to his left. High snap, brings it down, gives it off to McGeary, fights his way forward to the 35-yard line and pick up a 3. Lafayette McGeary bringing up a 3rd and 3 here for the Redmen. So it was Munson there on the stop. Cameron Munson. 3rd and 3 here for the Redmen from the 35-yard line. Bazarek in a slot to the near side with Cobbs. French, the single receiver, to the far side. Davis now in at tailback for the Redmen. Now Bazarek in motion. He'll line up in a slot to the left. Pressure on. Freiberg wide open as Bazarek across midfield to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Redmen. Tommy Bazarek, 65 yards, and the Redmen add to their lead, 16-0. First touchdown grab of the season for Tommy Bazarek, the junior, out of Park Ridge, Illinois. So Bazarek, a 65-yard reception, and the Redmen up 16-0.
On the move to attempt the extra point, Kiesel will hold.
Josh Wyand will center the long snap here. Kyle Kiesel will hold for Lance Unlin. The snap, the spot, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 17-0 Redmen with 8:13 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Redmen go on a 4-play, 95-yard drive, aided by that personal foul penalty. Got him a 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line, and it was Tommy Bazarek off of Kyle Freiberg, his 2nd touchdown toss today, 1st one of the year to Bazarek, 65 yards, and the Redmen lead it 17-0. Again, good job up front by the Redmen. Gave Freiberg a clean pocket. Once he made that catch at midfield, Bazarek could not be caught. The defender had tried to go for the interception, jumping in front of Bazarek, and hit the turf. So it was clear sailing once Bazarek made the catch. So the Redmen going 6 quarters plus now without giving up a point. Dustin Haas, I like that. This holds up here. Give us again across the 15, 20 to 25, and brought down hard at the 26-yard line, Darkeese Holman. On special teams, able to bring Gibbous down. Had him lined up in his sights as he got to the 25-yard line and drove him down with a shoulder tackle that time. 1st and 10 Royals at their own 26-yard line. Again, they're without the services of Bryce Marquardt, who got injured in the 1st quarter, has not returned. Marsh, the quarterback, moves McCann off his left hip, wants to set up a screen to the near side. Chantrell Garner there, read it nicely as John Pitlack made the catch and was driven back. It'll be a loss back to the 23-yard line, a loss of 3. Chantrell Garner, another stellar tackle. He saw that immediately, was lined up on the slot, recognized it was going to be a screen pass, and immediately went to Pitlack as he made the catch and wrestled him down for a 3-yard loss. Second and 13 for the Royals. Konecki in motion, they'll swing it out of the backfield to Gibbous, and again met out there by Chantrell Garner, getting some help as well from Emmett Trost. Redmond defense playing extremely well here again today. Be another loss of a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and 14. Like Dustin Haas in this defense have been something. It's been the story this season. Third and 14. Redmond will rush 4. They'll swing it out to the near side. Catch is made by Kenneke at the 25-yard line, where he is wrapped up there. Guess who? Chantrell Garner making the stop. It'll be a pickup of 4, well short of the first down. 4th and 10 facing the Royals. Here Knutson on to punt. Azarick, who scored on that 65-yard touchdown reception, standing back to receive. Redmond get a good rush on, got it away. And fair catch made by Bazarick at the 44-yard line. So Bazarick's fair catch gives the Redmond the ball at the 44-yard line, their own 44, with 6:13 to go here in the 3rd. And the Redmond up 17-0. Next week, it's on to conference play. 5th-ranked Wheaton Thunder opening up conference play against the Redmond. Will be at McCulley Field in Wheaton. 5:30 next Saturday night. A 6 o'clock kick right here on 1050 WLIP and on the stream at WLIP.com. Cobbs will line up in a slot left side along with French here on first down. Freiberg from the gun. Cobbs back in motion across the other way. They'll give it to Davis. Jamel Davis to the 45-yard line and driven back there. Bethel saying there was a fumble. Davis saying, no, I was down when the ball came out. Royals come away with it, but the officials rule him down at the 46-yard line, a gain of 2. So Davis able to pick up 2. Cale Farron in on the stop for the Royals. 2nd down and 8. Ball just across the 46-yard line. And we'll change the play now. Freiberg will call it out. Davis the tailback. Pinkel back in as a fullback now as a wing here on the right side. They'll fake it to Davis. Freiberg with all kinds of time. Going back over the middle, waiting for Cobbs. He's there and through his hands, incomplete. Cobbs running a skinny post route that time from left to right. Remember, he went in motion from right to left, then came clear across the side of the field. Freiberg had all kinds of time, waited for Cobbs to clear the defender. Cobbs got both hands on the football, but could not haul it in. 3rd and 8 facing the Redmond. Their own 46-yard line. Clock stopped, 5:20 to go here in the 3rd. Redmond up 17-0. Now timeout taken here by Bethel. They were trying to get a player off as Freiberg was ready to snap the football. Late getting off the field. One of their linebackers. Actually, the freshman defensive end, Jackson Tuttle. Yeah, that's the story here. Redmond have taken the running game away from Bethel so far today. Royals with just 35 yards rushing the football. Redmond were 2nd in the league last year in rushing defense in the CCIW, allowing just 76 yards per game. I'm getting the feeling that's the calling card here for the Redmond. Redmond can get 3 scores a game. You have to feel pretty confident that they're going to, defense is going to hold the other team back. At least so far through the first game and a half, that's been the story. Yet to give up a point. Freiberg from the gun on 3rd and 8. Has time, looking to throw, looking for Manny Jones. Over the shoulder catch, inside the 20, keeps his feet to the 10. End zone, touchdown, Carthage. Manny Jones, the transfer from Whitewater out of Indian Trail High School, his first touchdown as a Redmond. 3rd touchdown pass thrown by Freiberg this afternoon, and Carthage adds to their lead. 54 yards to Manny Jones. Made a nice grab at the 20. Was able to shake the defender and get in clean for the score. Way in the snap. Kiesel the hold. Unlin the kick. And it's 24-0 Carthage with 5:12 to go here in the third. Manny Jones, he was the third leading receiver last year on the UW Whitewater squad. Returned after Christmas break. They wanted to make him a defensive back. He had second thoughts. And then over the summer transferred into Carthage and makes his presence felt with his third reception today. This one a 54-yard touchdown grab. Three plays, 56 yards, and Freiburg now with 3 touchdown passes on the afternoon. So I think the Redmen starting to get things going their way here. Gibbous, the deep receiver, standing in his own goal line. Unlin with the run up and the kick. Gibbous will take at his own 2-yard line. Up the middle to the 10, cuts to the right side 15, across the 20, and wrestled down near the 23-yard line. Getting down there on special teams for the Redmen. Kevin O'Boyle, a freshman out of Plainfield, at Providence Catholic High School, on special teams to make the tackle. He's got some friends and relatives here in the stands down below me. O'Boyle with the tackle on special teams. So Jake Marsh, the sophomore, back out there at quarterback. He's had a rough afternoon. Thrown for just 61 yards. Going to throw here on first down. Dumps it out complete. Out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Peter Knutson, the tight end, with the reception and out of bounds there.
To the 27 for a gain of 4.
Pickup of about 4 on the play. Nick Gansky, senior linebacker, there to make the tackle for the Redmen. Gansky out of New Berlin Eisenhower. Boy, they won big last night over Greendale. Somewhat of a surprise score there. McCann on the carry up the middle, gets to the 29-yard line for a gain of 2. The bottom of that pile for the Redmen, Jacob Seimer, sophomore out of Indian Trail. Started all 10 games last year on the defensive line for the Redmen. He has gotten better. Mike Yeager and Dustin Haas talking about his development over the summer. Got in the weight room again, bulked up. Tough man to move. Third down and 4 here for the Royals at their own 29. Marsh going to swing it out, completes the pass here to Konecki. Out across the 30, first down and more to the 35, out to the 37-yard line. Virgil Young able to bring him down. Gain of 8 on the play and a first down for the Bethel Royals. Out to the 38-yard line. So first and 10 Bethel with 4 minutes to go here in the third. They trailed 24-0. Marsh wants to throw. Steps up, going over the middle, high pass, catch made by Konecki inside the Redmen 45-yard line and brought down immediately by Amani Dennis. Great pitch and catch that time between Marsh and Konecki. In the place of Bryce Marquardt, able to make the catch and the first down. Gain of 20 on the play, Amani Dennis credited with the stop. Konecki and Larson split out to the right side. Pitlock here to the near side, the single receiver. Fake the handoff, they'll come back across the right side. Konecki again, and he's shoved out of bounds. Short of the 30-yard line, they'll mark him out at the 33. Malik Thigpen, sophomore out of Fort Myers, in on the stop for the Redmen. A gain of 8, second down and a long 1 here for the Royals. Having to go almost exclusively to the air now, down 24-0. Trying to get back into this contest. Marsh. Pump fake now on the scramble and is going to get out to the 30-yard line. Will pick up the first down. Made a pump fake and then was waiting for his deep receiver. I think he was looking out there for Matthias Dury, trying to clear. Brought the ball back down, then elected to scramble upfield. And got wrapped up by Patrick O'Neill. But enough for the first down at the Redmond 30-yard line. Clock continues to roll here. 2.5 minutes to play in the third. 24-0 Redmond, but Bethel now on their deepest penetration today inside the Redmond 30. Handoff to McCann. McCann dives forward inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. Gain of about 3 on the play for McCann.
Second down and 7.
O'Neill and Freeman, along with Fry, there to make the stop for the Redmond. So a pickup of 3, second down 7 from the Redmond 27-yard line. Going right to left here in this late third quarter. Marsh stepping out to his left, throwing as he was hit. Ball is in the air and ball is intercepted. It was underthrown and picked off by Amani Dennis. Looking for Konecki at the 5-yard line. He was in double coverage. There was pressure on the play. Marsh was hit as he's thrown the ball, underthrown, and Dennis comes away with the pick. Guess who? Chantrell Garner providing the pressure on the quarterback. Marsh actually thrown into triple coverage that time, underthrown, and Amani Dennis, the underneath coverage, able to make the pick at the Redmond 5-yard line. 1:47 to go here in the third. It'll be Redmond ball at their own 5 on the turnover. Opportunistic defense for the Redmond. McGarry now in at tailback. Freiberg remains at quarterback. He'll line up under center. He'll give it to McGarry. Tries the right side, steps out of a tackle, gets across the 5, out to the 6-yard line.
McGarry on McGarry.
Dawson Brown, their fine junior strong safety, able to step up and make the play for a gain of 1, second down and 9. Brown, their leading tackler, returning from a year ago. 85 tackles, 3 interceptions, a forced fumble, and 3 block kicks on his resume from last year. Freiberg with the hard count will change up the play here. 10 on the play clock. Minute 10 to go here in the third quarter. Again, McGarry with the call. Fights his way across the 6, maybe out to the 8-yard line for a gain of 2. Off the bottom of that pile, Trevor Hess, 5'6" nose guard for Bethel. 45 seconds to go here in the third. A third down now for the Redmond. 3rd and 7 facing Carthage here. Bazarek and Jones will line up to the right side. Cobbs, the single receiver, to the near side, left side. They'll swing it to Cobbs. Little wide receiver screen, gets a block, cuts it across the 15, 20. Still on his feet, out to the 25-yard line. 16-yard pickup for James Cobbs on a wide receiver screen. Dawson Brown, the stop, but enough for a Redmond first down late here in the third, and Carthage going to let the clock run out. Your third quarter in the books here in Kenosha. Carthage leading Bethel 24-0 on your home for Carthage Athletics. Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. We'll step out for a 60 break.
End of the third quarter with the score. Carthage 24, Bethel 0.
Redmond football on 1050 WLIP and WLIP.com, brought to you by Anastos Motors. Check out their inventory at anastosmotors.com. By Lou Perini's Gas and Groceries, now offering home delivery. Nick Perini's delivering groceries, I see. Special cash prices on gas as well. Sheridan Road, 1 block north of 52nd Street in Kenosha. And for the finest in men's fashions, it's S.J. Crystal's Menswear, the corner of 57th Street and 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha. 1st and 10, Redmond. They'll hand it off to McGarry, and he's stopped for no gain. John Weiser back with you at Keller Field in Kenosha. Carthage leading 24-0. Third quarter stats: Redmond with 372 yards, Bethel with 146, but just 43 on the ground. Kyle Freiberg, 3 touchdown passes today. Manny Jones, along with Dominic Lucido and Tommy Bazrick, catching touchdown passes this afternoon. 2nd down and 10, ball at the Redmond 26-yard line. Carthage going right to left here in this 4th quarter. McGarry, the single tailback. Cobbs and French, your wideouts. Pinkel, the fullback, lined up in a wing left next to the tight end. They'll hand it off to McGarry on a sweep, coming around the near side. Good backfield tackle that time. McGarry, no place to go as he was Substead there to make the stop with a loss of 4. Trent Substead, 6'3" junior weak side linebacker, able to step up and make the loss there. Loss of 4 on the play. This time they'll bunch the receivers up. Now they'll bunch it up closer here. Bazarek and Stryker to the right side with French now in motion. And French coming on the jet sweep around the right side, and they had that play read immediately. Cale Farron, the 6'3" sophomore, able to get French for a loss back at the 17-yard line. Farron, a tackling machine, 19 tackles, 12 solo last week in the loss to Dubuque. Able to come up with another tackle for loss, so that drive goes for naught. Candry now to attempt the punt. Strong rush, just got that one away. Might have been tipped. Another poor punt out of bounds, and then roughing the kicker call here as they came in on Candry. There is a penalty marker down. Candry run over back there, so let's see if we've got a personal foul or a 5-yard variety here. What do we have? Official still looking over there. We have a running into the kicker, I believe.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense. 15-yard penalty.
Give the number. There were 2 players coming in on the rush on Candry. So 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. Carthage will retain possession here in an automatic 1st down. So they should be moving this ball out to the 33-yard line. Because it was a personal foul, that should be enough for a 1st down. Let's see here. Referee today. Mark Shield. He has been busy today.
Correction. Running into the kicker. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
So they changed it from a personal foul to a 5-yard running into the kicker call.
5-yard penalty against Bethel for running into the kicker. Ball spotted at the 13-yard line.
So they'll spot the football at the 13-yard line. They'll repeat the kick, and I don't blame Mike Yeager. He walks back to the near sideline shaking his head. So, what would make it not a personal foul call? And that's what Mike Yeager's asking the line judge here on the near side. Says, how can that not be a 15-yard penalty? My guy got flattened. You're trying to protect the game, protect kickers and specialists, as Candry gets this one away. A nice high spiraling kick, his best punt of the afternoon. Anderson has to go back, makes the catch at the 32, gets it out to the 35-yard line. Good coverage by the Redmen. 3-yard return for Anderson out to the 35-yard line. Best punt of the afternoon for Nick Candry. So the Royals will start this drive with 12.5 minutes to go in the game at their own 35-yard line, down 24-0. They will open up conference play next weekend against Concordia Moorhead. It'll be their MIAC opener September 16th. As Marsh throws that almost in the hands of Cedric Fry, who breaks that one up. Got his hands up again. Second time today, Fry has batted down a pass intended for McCann. 2nd down and 10 from the 35. McCann off to the left. Marsh going to throw left. Lobs it out far sideline. Penalty marker down. Ball is knocked away. Incomplete. Good job of tipping that ball that time by Connor Calvert. He might be called for obstruction here. Might be a pass interference call here on Calvert. He held up the receiver momentarily.
Pass interference. Defense number 7.
Yep.
Spot foul. Automatic first down.
It's actually earlier, looking for Drew Larson that time, and it was actually earlier than that on his break as he got off the line of scrimmage. Might have made contact with him beyond the line of scrimmage, and so therefore the interference call. They've got to clean up their penalty act here. Again, drop the football. Marsh throws it away, and it goes incomplete through the hands of Knutson. Peter Knutson, the tight end. Marsh just simply dropped the football, lost the grip on it, but it picked it right up, but threw it high through the fingertips of Knutson, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. This time they'll put 3 receivers here to the near side. Again, Bryce Marquardt out since the first quarter with a leg injury, has not returned. Coming back, got a man wide open. It's Larson inside the 30 and out of bounds at the Carthage 27-yard line. Drew Larson, the sophomore, with the reception, their biggest play from scrimmage this afternoon. Sets it up 1st and 10 at the Carthage 26. 24-yard pickup, 1st down Bethel. Amani Dennis there to make the stop for the Redmen. 1st and 10 Bethel. Again, same formation. 3 receivers off to the left. Marsh with time. Pump fakes. Now on the scramble. Penalty marker down. This one's coming back for a hold as Marsh will run it out of bounds at the Carthage 12-yard line.
At about the 12-yard line. Penalty marker on the play.
This will be the 9th penalty.
Offense number 25. 10 yards, previous spot.
9th penalty on Bethel this afternoon. It'll be a 10-yard holding penalty on Gibbous, the running back, trying to protect his quarterback.
1st down, 20 from the Redmen 36.
Tackled Pete Laughlin that time here on the near side. Move it back to the 36-yard line, 1st and 20. For Marsh, under pressure, dumps it out, complete to Gibbous. Chantrell Garner there to make the tackle. At the 35-yard line for a pickup of 1. Garner has been all over the field today. Might be his best game as a Redman. It's about the 4th open field tackle today for Chantrell Garner, and I mean, he wrapped him up beautifully. Shoulder into the thigh, arms around the legs, and down the receiver went for a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 19. Marsh again on the throw. Blitz off the edge, going for a post route, and it's incomplete. Looking for John Pitlack that time, who got a step on Virgil Young. That's hard to do. Bring up a 3rd and 19. Virgil tried to stay with him step for step. He was lined up on the wideout far right side and ran a post route, and he got a step on Virgil Young. 3rd and 19 now from the Redmond 35-yard line. Marsh drops back, 4-man rush, under pressure, down he goes. Sack by Pete Laughlin. Laughlin, who had 18 tackles for losses last year, that was good for 18th in the nation, comes up with a sack here. His 2nd sack of the season. Brings up 4th down, and the punting unit coming on for Bethel. And the storyline continues here. The Redmond defense yet to give up points this season. Bazarek standing at the 10-yard line. He'll have to look into the sun here on the Knutson punt. Goes off the side of his foot. It will angle out of bounds. It takes a nice roll for Bethel down to the 3-yard line. 2nd time today. They get a favorable bounce. Looked like that ball was going to go out of bounds near the 20-yard line, but bounced back right and downfield that time and downed at the 3-yard line. So the Redmen will have it 1st and 10 at their own 3, 10-14 to play in the game. Wheaton leading Kalamazoo now 51-6. That'll be the opponent next week. That'll be a collision course. The two powers, really, if you're going to know where you stand, you know the top 2 teams in this league for the last several years have been Wheaton and North Central. You want to hang around the block with those two, you're going to have to knock one of them off, and the Redmen will get that first test next Saturday night. It'll be a 6 o'clock kick from McCulley Field. I formation here for the Redmen. One of the few times they work out of the I with Freiberg in under center. They'll give it to McGarry, the tailback, trying to spin out, protect the football. Gets it up to about the 4-yard line. Gain of 1 on the play. Substed again there to make the stop, the linebacker. Again, Pinkel, lead blocker, just couldn't get enough of Substed that time to keep him off of McGarry. 2nd down, 9 for the Redmen at their own 4. Again, I formation here. Pinkel the fullback, McGarry the tailback. Brett Patton into the game now as a wide out here to the near side. They'll give it to McGarry up the middle, bounced a tackle, got to the 5 and wrestled down for a loss. Forward progress out to the 5. Dawson Brown making the stop, the strong safety for the Bethel Royals. They give them full forward progress to the 6-yard line. 3rd and long now for the Redmen. Redmen taking as much time as they can. Freiberg taking the play clock all the way down here. 8:48 to play. Redmen up 24-0. They'll take the timeout here.
Timeout, Redmond.
They'll give us a chance here to check some scores from around the CCIW. We'll put John Voinovich to work. See what we have here. We gave you the Wheaton score. They were up big. 2nd half over in Kalamazoo. No surprise there. 51-6. Wheaton on top of Kalamazoo. Elmhurst was hosting Olivet today down at Langhorse Field. Illinois Wesleyan taking on Nebraska Wesleyan today. Augustana is at Central of Iowa. So Redmond taking the timeout here. facing a 3rd down and 8 from their own 6-yard line. Darquise Holman now, or I should say, the new quarterback in there for the Redmen on this particular play is Cameron James. James, the 6'1", 170-pound sophomore out of Maywood, Illinois. A loss on the play, loss of 2, and so Candry will have to punt out of his own end zone. And a good snap here from Josh Wayan. Good snap back to Candry. Gets this one away. Another short punt. Fair catch made for and made at the 32-yard line. Just a 27-yard punt. A late penalty flag down at the line of scrimmage. There is a flag at the line of scrimmage, so let's see what this is. Approaching halftime down in Bloomington, Illinois Wesleyan leading Nebraska Wesleyan 28-7. That game going into halftime down in Bloomington today.
Illegal block in the back, defense number 42. Penalty will be put on the end of the kick, 1st down.
Jackson Tuttle, Private Tuttle with that penalty. Mash aficionados. Sergeant Tuttle.
Block in the back.
What do we got here? Officials can't even get this right. How can you have a block in the back if you're the punting team?
Correction, illegal block in the back, 42 kicking team. Penalty tacked on to the end of the run.
Oh, it's going to go against the Redmen here.
Oh.
We sure? Garrett Pinkel, the guilty party. So that'll set the ball at the Redmen 20-yard line because of the short kick. So this will be spotted at the Redmen 20-yard line. So let's see if the Redmen defense can buckle down. They've yet to give up a point this season. 8 minutes to go here in the 4th, leading 24-0. Got Joey Lee in now at quarterback, going to throw behind the receiver, incomplete, looking for John Carlson. So this is Lee. Lee was a starting safety last year on defense. He's moved over to quarterback, kind of an interesting move there. They moved Lee to quarterback. They moved that quarterback, Trey Anderson, back out to a corner on defense. So they kind of swapped out the secondary players for quarterback. So Lee in now at quarterback. He'll hand it off to McCann. McCann wrestled down immediately. Got to the line of scrimmage. That was it. Eric Freeman there to make the stop. The junior out of Flossmoor, Illinois. We got an injured Bethel player who's down at the 20-yard line. Still scratching my head over a block in the back by the kicking team. Mike Yeager's still talking about that on the near sideline with the line judge here, as they tend to an injured Bethel player. Bethel without the services of Bryce Marcourt this afternoon. He got injured in the 1st quarter, sustained some type of a leg injury. He's been over on the training table with some ice on that leg since the end of that 1st quarter. Mason Diedrich, their right tackle, injured, has not returned. So the Royals sustaining several injuries here today, and they've got another lineman down here. Need some help here to get him off the field. Carthage training staff, the athletic trainers here, led by Jake Denauer, sitting on the sideline here. Bethel brought their training staff down today. It looks like it's Peter Christensen who was in at right tackle, replacing Mason Diedrich, who left with a lower body injury back in the 1st half. So Christensen, the 6 foot, 265-pound senior, going to be helped off. So this means they'll move left tackle Christian Geltz over to the right tackle position. Braden Peterson, a sophomore, will step up now at left tackle. Joey Lee at quarterback from the gun, rolls to his left, looking to throw. Hit as he's thrown, intercepted. Chantrell Garner across the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Midfield, Garner down the far sideline. One man to beat. Garner is not going to be caught. Chantrell Garner for the touchdown. Chantrell Garner capping off a stellar afternoon. Stepped in front of that pass and returned it to the house. Garner, who's been all over the field, it was underthrown. The quarterback Lee could not step into it, stepped in front of Drew Larson. And Garner returns it all the way for the touchdown. Unland on to kick the extra point. Kick is on the way, and the kick is good. 31-0 Redmond with 7.5 minutes to play. Garner, an 84-yard interception return for the touchdown. He has been all over the field today for Carthage. Garner with 9 tackles today, 5 tackle for losses, and now an interception today for Garner out of Wisconsin Lutheran High School. They'll go down as an 84-yard interception return for a touchdown. Not a Carthage record. That was 104 yards. Set back in the 1940s. What an afternoon for the senior Chantrell Garner. 9 tackles, 5 tackle for losses, and an interception return for a touchdown. There is your Defensive Player of the Week in the CCIW. That better get a nomination from our sports marketing team here. Unland with the run up and the kick. Gibbous on the run, across his own 15 to the 20. Out to the 25 and belted down just across the 27-yard line. Trevor Anderson down there on special teams for the Redmen. Able to knock him to the turf. And so with 7:24 to go in this one, it is Carthage leading Bethel 31-0. So O'Neill in now, along with Pauscher, Freeman, and Stubblefield up front. Also in there for the Redmen.
1st and 10 from the 27.
Kevin O'Boyle, freshman linebacker out there now. Lee again back in at quarterback, completes the pass near side to John Carlson, spun down near the 35-yard line. Joey Pauza there to make the stop. Pauza out of Wakanda High School. So you got Pauza, Brandon Holy out there. Albert Rogowski on that far side out of Trevor, a Wilmot High grad. In there now for the Redmen in that secondary as they wrap up. Gibbous should pick up enough for the first down out across the 38, make it the 39-yard line, and a first down for Bethel. Clock continues to roll, 6:50 to play in the ball game. Again, stay with us in the post game. Mike Yeager will join us. A lot to talk about here today. The play of Chantrell Garner as Lee will swing it out, completes the pass far side to Drew Larson. Larson gets out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Pick up a 5 on the play. Will bring up 2nd and 5. Able to get out of bounds. So Lee in mop-up duty here for Marsh. Marsh 18 of 27 today, 128 yards, was sacked 4 times. Lee pump fakes, now comes back, nearly picked off as that one goes incomplete. Jackson Bell, the intended receiver, a junior
Lee's pass
for Bethel.
intended for Beal, incomplete. 3rd down and 6.
So sets up a 3rd and 6, stopping the clock with 6 minutes to go. Redmond hold Bethel to just 29 yards on the ground. Lee in trouble in the backfield, nowhere to go, and down he goes back at the 35-yard line. Like Gus Isley.
Lee brought down for a loss on the play.
Able to get there. Gabe Villa also there for the Redmond.
And 13.
We'll credit that one to Isley. It'll be the 5th sack of the afternoon for the Carthage defense. Shutout intact as Bazarek stands inside his 30, awaiting the Knutson punt. This will be the 10th punt of the afternoon for Bethel. Bazarek makes the catch at the 30, around the left side, penalty marker down, 40, 45, 50, another penalty marker down. Bazarek still on his feet and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. All kinds of flags.
Bazarek on the punt return, penalty marker on the play.
1, 2, 3, 4 flags on the ground here, and I believe they're all going to be against the Redmond. Question is, which one? You get the block in the back here near the 30-yard line, and Mike Yeager visibly upset with that. Again, the way it's taught, if you see the back of the jersey, don't block them. And Mike not happy. That'll be one of the things I'm sure he's going to talk about. Coaches dwell on all the negative. This is going to be one of those negatives today. This will be the 8th penalty against the Redmond today. 9 charged to Bethel. Here's the call.
Multiple fouls on the play. Illegal block in the back, 24. Illegal block in the back, 44. Unnecessary reference, 51. Most penalties offset. Replay, 4th down.
They got Bazarek charged for a foul there. He made the catch. I think they meant 44, Josh Wyan.
Multiple fouls on the play, offsetting.
So these all offset, so they'll replay the 4th down.
From the 36-yard line. Knutson is in the kick.
So Knutson will punt it away one more time.
Bazarek is deep for the
Bazarek standing at his own 25-yard line. 5 minutes to go in this one. Just get out of here with no injuries. That's what you want now. They've been relatively injury-free here this afternoon. Line drive kicked by Knutson, drives Bazarek all the way back to his own 17-yard line, across the 20, 25, and brought down at the 27-yard line. 10-yard return for Bazarek. And so Carthage will take over with 4:56 to play from their own 27-yard line, comfortably in front, 31-0. Next week, going to be a different story. Going to be a hard-fought game next week at Wheaton. Carthage opens up CCIW play on the road at Wheaton College. McCulley Field will be with you at 5:30 with our pregame, a 6 o'clock kick next Saturday night from Wheaton College. Then a week from Saturday, the 23rd, Redmond on the road at Augustana. It'll be a 7 o'clock kick down in Rock Island. Suchecki in under center now. We'll hand it off. And the first carry of the ball game to Shady Bittry, the running back, 5'7", 160, a sophomore. His first carry as a Redmond.
Shady Bittry on the carry for the Redmond. Gain of 2.
Picks up about 2 on the play, so Redmond just...
From the 30.
The enemy right now is the clock. Messina in at a wide receiver on the far side. Brett Patton in on the near side here. I formation, fullback, tailback. Bittry will get the call again. Bittry picks his way around the right side. Bittry with some room. Across the 35 and tripped up at the 37-yard line. Close to a first down. Tavian Swanson, a freshman, at this corner on that far side, took him down.
First down, Redmond.
It will be enough for a Redmond first down. Keeps the clock rolling here. Under 4 minutes to play. Redmond about to pick up win number 2 on the season and their second straight shutout. So back-to-back shutouts here by the Redmen, possibly. Final 4 minutes here. Bittry again gets the call, and he is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Kyle Peach, linebacker there to make the stop. So it sets up a second down and 10 from their own 38. This time Suchecki wants to throw. Going to go down the far sideline. Ball is in the air and the pass is incomplete, looking for Patton. Running a go route down that sideline on the far side.
Intended for Patton, incomplete. Third down, 10 from the 38.
So the incomplete pass stops the clock with exactly 3 minutes to go. Carthage comfortably in front here, 31-0, facing a 3rd and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Again, Suchecki dumps it off, completes to Bittry, first down and more, across midfield, stays in bounds at the 47-yard line, late penalty marker down at the 45-yard line.
Bittry into Bethel territory to the 46-yard line. There is a penalty marker on the play.
So we'll check out the penalty here.
There's no foul on the play for Rocky Below Place. It was 10-2.
So they'll pick up the flag.
Was not a penalty on the play.
So no penalty. It'll be a first down for the Redmen.
46-yard line.
So 1st and 10 Carthage. Ball in the Bethel territory, and Redmond just looking to run clock right now. So they'll get to 2-0 on the year. They have yet to give up a point this season. They'll hand it off. Bittry again coming around the near side. Gets down to the 43-yard line for a pickup of 3.
About the 44-yard line.
Make it the 44.
Second down and 8 from the 44.
Second down and 8. Well, if this holds true, back-to-back shutouts by the Carthage defense, you have to go all the way back to 1969. Perfect season under head coach Art Keller. Redmond finished that year with 3 straight shutouts, defeating North Park, Carroll, and Illinois Wesleyan in that process. Bittry again, just staying between the tackles. Going to be stacked up for no gain. Clock continues to roll with a minute and a half showing. Yep, go all the way back. That was the last time he had back-to-back shutouts. They did it 3 games in a row, November 1st, November 8th, and November 15th of 1969. So if you were, say if you were Tom Roders, you were running around in 1969, you were trying to shake that bitter baseball season off. You come out to Lakefront Stadium and you watch Carthage play in football. 3 straight shutouts. Under a minute to go. This time Suchecki up the middle off the fake to Bittry. stays in bounds, and the Redmen now facing a 4th down.
4th down, 6 from the 42. Officials timeout on the field.
Official timeout here. Another injured player here for Bethel. Boy, they have taken a series of hits injury-wise. They've lost 2 offensive linemen today. They lost their star senior wide receiver, their 5th-year senior, Bryce Marquardt, since the first quarter.
For the injury on the field, will you please adjust the track to 32.8 seconds.
So 32 seconds now on the clock as they will run the clock down. Redmen will have to snap the ball here on 4th and 6. Again, stay with us for the post game. Mike Yeager will join us. Visit with him after the game, get his thoughts on today's game, and I know he's going to dwell on the penalties, but I'd like to talk about the play of Kyle Freiberg here. And I think what the Redmen are going to do is take it all the way down, and that will do it. They're going to let it run down. They did not have to snap it here. So this will be your final score this afternoon. Back-to-back bagels for the Redmen today. As they go 31-0 over Bethel, they have yet to allow a point in their first 2 games of the 2017 campaign. 31-0, your final score here at Keller Field in Kenosha. We'll pause and take a 2-minute break. Back with our post game right after this on AM 1050 WLIP.
6 p.m. kickoff.
Thank you.
Division III allows you to be able to give yourself to other things. Not even just participate in them, but really get involved with them if you want to.
There's a lot of interaction. It's not just sitting back, taking notes. You're actually doing hands-on things and better preparing yourself for your major.
Choosing a Division III school, I've had the opportunity to develop my leadership skills and to be more involved on campus.
Division III in athletics, affords students the opportunity not only to participate in intercollegiate athletics at a competitive level, but also gives them the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport and outside of the academics on the campus.
And to have opportunity to have time to join clubs and being able to play basketball, it allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
So what was 1921 to start a season? Yep, I had the 69 the last time we did. That was the three-peat we did that year. Thank you. Final today from Keller Field in Kenosha. Carthage shuts out the Bethel Royals 31-0. Second straight year they take down the Royals. They have a 2-0 advantage in that series that will conclude with today's game. So with next year's schedule and the 9th team or 10th team joining the league in football in Washington University, only one non-conference game next year, and that will be against UW-Oshkosh. So it doesn't get any easier. But Redmen pitched back-to-back shutouts. Their first time they start a season with back-to-back bagels since 1921, and this is the last time they went back-to-back. It was 3 in a row, 3 shutouts in a row to end the 1969 season. A perfect year for Art Keller that year. They went 9-0, 7-0. They beat Alma that year in the first game of the season, snapping the Alma Scots' long winning streak that they had at that time, as I recall, back in 1969. So a fine job by the Carthage defense once again here today, 31-0, your final. Carthage College football on AM 1050 WLIP and WLIP.com. Brought to you in part by Anastos Motors. Schedule your next service appointment at anastosmotors.com. By Triangle Flooring, Furniture and Appliance Center on Highway 50 and 39th Avenue in Kenosha. Lou Perini's Gas and Groceries, now offering home delivery and special cash prices on gas. Sheridan Road, 1 block north of 52nd Street. By Lynch Chevrolet of Kenosha, east of I-94 on Highway 50. S.J. Crystal's Menswear. For the finest in men's fashions, it's S.J. Crystal's Menswear, the corner of 57th Street and 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha. By Mason's Eatery and Pub on Highway 50, just west of Green Bay Road. Don't be a chain eater, eat at Mason's. Dave's American Discount Muffler, honest and dependable service on Sheridan Road, Kenosha. By Something Different, a sports fan's fantasy land on 6th Avenue in downtown Kenosha, or on the web, NFLmerch.com. By Wingstop of Kenosha on Highway 50, they are the wing experts. By Coliseum Games, southeastern Wisconsin's premier game store, just east of 60th Avenue on 75th Street. And by Ruffalo's 2 Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 45th Street, just west of 39th Avenue. 31-0 the final here today. Redmond post back-to-back shutouts and start the season a perfect 2-0, and they've made their defense the focal point of their game so far this year. They allowed just 162 yards today of offense on 62 plays. That's just a little over 2.5 yards per play today, and only 21 yards on the ground. Again, this is a team last year that allowed just 76 yards per game on the ground. And on the other side, Redmond roll up 393 yards, get 17 first downs today. They were 9 of 17 on third down conversions. 3 touchdown passes today by Kyle Freiberg, 3 different receivers getting those touchdown passes. Redmond opened up a 10-0 lead at the half. A Lance Unland 22-yard field goal opened up the scoring today late in the second quarter. Redmond added to that a late touchdown on a 5-play, 54-yard drive. Dominic Lucido, a 17-yard touchdown reception that made it 10-0. Carthage then came out in the third quarter. Midway through the third quarter, a 4-play, 95-yard drive. Tommy Bazaric, a 65-yard reception for his touchdown catch that made it 17-0. Then Freiberg able to hit Manny Jones for a 54-yard touchdown strike on a 3-play, 56-yard drive. That made it 24-0, and then the defense getting into the act. Chantrell Garner, an 84-yard touchdown return on an interception. That made it 31-0. That's your final here today. Carthage pulling out the win. So we take a look at the final numbers today for the Redmen. As I said, Kyle Freiberg today, 14 of 23 for 298 yards and 3 touchdowns, was sacked only once today. And it was a bevy of receivers here today. Manny Jones, 3 receptions, including a touchdown for 82 yards. James Cobbs, 3 catches for 76 yards. He darn near could have had a touchdown reception himself. He juggled and dropped one down the far sideline back in the first half. It was a pair of catches by Evan French. Garrett Pinkel with a couple of catches today. On the ground, the Redmen go 16 carries for 41 net for Lafayette McGarry. Davis today, 7 carries for 22 yards. Bittry in the end did a nice job running the football, keeping him in bounds, and doing a nice job running that clock down here in mop-up duty today.
Once again, fans, please clear the field.
And then on the other side for Bethel today, not much doing there. Although Marsh had some success throwing the ball in the second half. He was 18 of 27 for 128 yards. He was sacked 4 times today, threw the 1 interception. That one didn't amount to a touchdown. It was Lee who threw the interception that Chantrell Garner returned for the touchdown. Receiving today, Kennecke, 6 catches for 63 yards. Larson, 3 for 40. And then on the Bethel running the football, it was McCain, 14 carries for 24 yards. Dunnick, 3 carries for 25, as the Redmond defense built up another strong case today as they go up 31-0. Their second straight shutout to start a season. You got to go all the way back to 1921, the last time that happened. Head coach Mike Yeager joining me up here in the booth. congratulations, another fine job today.
Yeah, great win. All around, much improved, I think, offensively, defensively, and special teams-wise. You know, Bethel is not a good team. They're a real good football team, you know, and unfortunately, I think they've got some injuries that are going to hurt them the rest of the year from today. But we knew we'd have to play very well in all 3 phases, and I thought we did that for the most part. And we knew it was going to take time with our offense. They are a high-pressure defense. They're going to bring the house a lot, you know, and it just takes time to get your timing down to beat those types of things.
Well, on defense, 1 game's an anomaly, 2 games is a trend. I think we're starting to see something developing over there with Dustin Haas's defense. They are very aggressive, very quick to the ball, and I know you were concerned about the deep threat today, but you had the pass rush there that I think took away the ability of the quarterback, Marsh, to step up and find his deep receivers.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. If you can get home with 4, makes it a little much easier on your defensive backs. We were able to do that for the most part, though we did bring pressure, you know, 5 or 6 guys, and, you know, I think Dustin's done a great job with the defense, and I think our guys are embracing what we are. We're an aggressive defense. You know, we're going to give up a few plays, and we understand that. And we did that today, but we responded when we need to. And we're able to make the plays when we needed to, and that's going to be kind of who we are. You know, and we're going to try to pound it on offense, and eventually some things are going to bust, and we're going to get some big plays.
Last year, you developed a position for Chantrell Garner, made him the nickel back. Not quite a linebacker, not quite a defensive back. He kind of floats around back there, and you're starting to see the fruits of that today. 9 tackles today, 5 tackle for losses, and the 84-yard interception return for a touchdown.
You know, obviously it's the best game he's played since he's been here. You know, he's embraced this position. It's taken a while. It's different than safety, but he's gotten better and better each week at it. He's starting to become a student of the game at that position, and obviously, that's an incredible game. That's a great game.
Well, you're a defensive guy. Have you ever seen a game like that from a player at this level?
I have no idea, but those numbers, man, that's impressive. That's a heck of a day for him.
And I like the way he plays the game because, as I said, he tends to float around there. And as you said, not quite a safety. You're not going to run him back in coverage. But the thing that he does now, teams have to account for him now in the box or in the secondary. That leaves either a tight end or a fullback that's got to stay in and block because he can blitz, he can get to the quarterback, and he can cover your tight end and fullbacks out of the backfield.
Well, you know, we'll match him up against wide receivers. You know, we think that much of him. And he did a great job changing his body this summer, reported at 200 pounds. So he has the size to hold up in the run game, obviously, with the quickness as well. And I think you're seeing that with the plays he's making.
Kyle Freiberg today, 3 touchdown passes, 3 big plays today. He could have had a 4th had there been, had Cobbs not dropped that one. Could have been a 4-day for Freiberg.
Yeah, no, he played really, really well. We knew we were going to have to hit the deep balls to put points on the boards because of how aggressive they are up front with their blitz game. You know, we anticipated them probably making the run game really, really tough with what they do. But when you do those types of things, you open up the pass game a little bit, and Kyle and the receivers were able to take advantage of that and get some big plays for us.
Certainly did, and not to take anything away from Bethel, but they did lose their receiver, Marquardt, there in the first quarter, went out with a leg injury, lost a couple of offensive linemen, so they got bit by the injury bug today. Knock on wood, you guys got out of here rather clean.
Yeah, you know, injuries are part of the game. You know, we dealt with it last week, and we'll deal with it more. You know, you've got to find the ability to overcome that adversity that's created by those injuries, and I feel terrible for Bethel. I mean, they're a class act, class program. They do things the right way, and they're going to be good. But, you know, when injuries are, they're tough, you know, especially to great players like number 9. He was a great football player.
Mm-hmm. And I thought that the key today, you made them go 3rd and long all day today. They didn't have that 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 all day long. You made them have to go the full 10 yards. You took away the first 2 downs from them, forced them into basically one dimension.
Yeah, you know, I think our front 7 has played extremely well these first 2 games against the run. When you can get to 3rd and long situations, then we can do some fun stuff in terms of blitzes and drops and little things that we can do. So it's been great that we've been able to win on 1st and 2nd down. We always tell our guys, you know, we try to be smart situationally with our guys. They know exactly what they need to do. We got to hold them to 3 yards or less on 1st down and less than half the distance on 2nd down. If we do that, we'll keep us on track to be successful on 3rd down.
Special teams, good job today, and you won the turnover battle today. That's what you're always looking for.
Yeah, you know, I think our special teams were better than week 1. They're still not where we need to be. We can't afford to have penalties on special teams. I think we had 2 today, and those are just game changers. You know, the special teams fast of the game is huge, and we've got to improve in that area. You know, going against Wheaton this week, that was a difference last year. You know, it was a special teams play. So we've got to get better in that area, and you know, hopefully that can help us this weekend coming up.
Well, it's a night game next Saturday. Kind of upsets the routine a little bit, but now the guys got to get focused. You give them 24 hours to digest this one, have a good time, but then 5 o'clock tomorrow night, it's Wheaton.
Yeah, no, we'll come back. We'll watch this film. We'll lift a little bit. We'll do a little bit of conditioning, and then give them the day off Monday and full board Tuesday. And you know, it's a big game. Everybody's excited about it. But here's the truth of the matter: is we've only got 10 games a year. Every game is huge. Every game, when you're only playing 10 a year, is huge. And we've just got to come out and have a great practice on Tuesday.
Stay focused this week, Coach. Have a good week.
Thank you.
You bet. Mike Yeager, head football coach for the Carthage College Redmen today, posting their back-to-back shutouts. First time to start a season with back-to-back bagels since 1921. And the last time the Redmen posted back-to-back shutouts in a season, back in 1969, they finished off the final 3 games of that regular season with 3 consecutive shutouts on their way to a 9-0, perfect 7-0 year in the CCIW. So the Redmen get it done here today. Defense posts that second shutout, and they get 3 touchdown passes from Kyle Freiberg today, as well as they post the 31-0 victory here today. A couple other scores. They're now in the 4th quarter. It is Wheaton leading Kalamazoo 51-6. Johnny, I don't know if we've got any of the other scores to share before we head off here, but I know we were watching there. We've got it's a final now, 58-6 Wheaton over Kalamazoo. They're halftime down in Bloomington. It's Illinois Wesleyan leading Nebraska Wesleyan 28-7. Early 3rd quarter in Iowa today. In Central Iowa, the Dutch leading Augustana 16-7. That game in the 3rd quarter. And one other game going on as we speak. It's Olivet, the Comets, leading Elmhurst 19-14. That game in the 3rd. No report yet on the North Park Midland game. And later tonight, down in Terre Haute, Indiana, it is Milliken taking on the Fighting Engineers of Rose-Hulman. That game kicks off at 6. That'll wrap up things here from Keller Field in Kenosha. 31-0, the Redmen with the victory. My thanks this afternoon to John Voinovich, directing and producing our video stream. Jimmy Selovich, engineering the broadcast back at the WLIP studios in Pleasant Prairie. A nice job there. John Weiser saying good afternoon from Art Keller Field. A happy Redmen team today. Back-to-back shutouts to start the season 2-0. They defeat the Bethel Royals today by a score of 31-0. We'll be with you again next Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Redmen football on the road at Wheaton. 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock kick from McCulley Field. Won't you join us then? Please do. Again, your final this afternoon, 31-0 Redmen over the Royals. You've been listening to Carthage Redmen Athletics, heard exclusively on Kenosha's radio station, 1050 WLIP Kenosha. Have a great afternoon, everyone.